This is quality content. Dude is my age. Marcus is my age, and he's got like 50 years of fucking experience.
Put her both the fuck out of her chest.
Louis Armstrong was the midwife that helped birth ska from the cloaca of punk.
You guys heard it here first at LTN Media. There's packs of wild stray dogs that control most of the major cities. Anytime you just hear, almost the lava. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
If you like my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, let me know. Chris?
This guy out here trying to petition to be the next Captain Hook. Hello everyone, and welcome to Less Than Normal. I am Chris.
Ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
That's not Captain Hook. That's Captain Barbosa.
I know. But we haven't had a good live action Hook that feels actually piratey.
That's fair. I mean, Dustin Hoffman
did not feel piratey.
Dustin Hoffman. No.
Dustin Hoffman was Dustin Hoffman, the least intimidating man on the planet. And I say that with love. The second least intimidating man on the planet. I'm going to put Stephen Hawking ahead of him. For two reasons. One, what is he going to do? Run me over with his chair? And two, he's dead. Sorry.
Anywho,
I did love him as Hook, though.
Welcome
Hoffman,
everyone
Hawking.
to the show. I don't know what the fuck we're doing today. I'm with Bree and Dave as always. You guys, Bree, are you gonna be okay? Or are you gonna fucking explode down there? Oh my god. If you read our notification in Discord, our main topic today is going to be D23 that happened last weekend. A lot of shit was announced. A lot of shit was announced. As well
most
as
of it, you know what? We'll keep it positive. Some of it good.
We'll keep it positive from the one that doesn't have the aggressive opinions. Most of it looks great. Let's be fair, Dave. Between the two of us, you definitely have more aggressive opinions than I do.
Oh, I do, but I think Bree's on the same page as me with this one for a lot of them.
Between the two of us. Hi, I don't exist.
Between the two of us. So, I guess let's start the show the way we normally do. How is everybody's week between shows? Bree, since you are not existing, why don't you not exist and tell us what you did over the week?
I don't know. You said between the two of y'all, so I guess I'm not here. Hi, bye. I worked. I did some more work. I wanted to blow my job up. I didn't blow my job up. I still have to work. That's how my week's been.
That was a wonderful story. I felt like I was there. Dave.
I feel the same way, Zach.
For real.
My week was... I've had okay. Story time with Dave. So
Sure,
I have
man.
a sinus infection. It's a mild sinus infection, but a sinus infection, it sucks. Thanks for that resub, Chris. That guy, he just sucked. You should too if you know what's good for you.
Fact.
Because it's us. We're good for you. And I was drinking out of I have a water jug, right, that I was drinking water out of, but that I had made tea out of, and I realized it was making my mouth itchy. Probably because I was allergic to something that I had put in the jug. And so my allergies and sinus shit got so much worse. So I've had like a sinus headache for 3 days, but other than that, it's been pretty good. I found a randomizer for Hitman 3. That's been insane. Also randomized Baldur's Gate 3 because this Sunday the Fuckery crew is starting a item randomized encounter expansion overhaul of Baldur's Gate 3 since we just finished our regular playthrough last week.
Yeah. I know. I still need to get Hitman and get that set up. I was playing Crime Scene Cleaner before stream, which just dropped today. It's on Steam. Go check it out. It's fucking ride. It is a ride. But like it's like $18 on Steam right now. Definitely worth it to go check it out. I might stream it maybe this weekend. Yeah.
I might stream it after stream.
Yeah, I do have plans after stream, so that I cannot do. But at some point this weekend, I do want to actually try and stream it. As always, before we get started, go give a shout out to the squad at Miles on Motorsports. They are a bunch of good people. You will hear my voice over there at some point tonight. And maybe actually having some YouTube content coming up soon with a little collab with them, which would be pretty cool. Box office. Anyone want to take a guess at what number one is?
So I can tell you what's number one. I can also tell you another movie that recently came out and how much they made.
Does it involve this motherfucker right here?
I guarantee you number one is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Correct.
And nowhere near the top 10. Borderlands, who in their opening weekend made... Did you say incorrect?
Incorrect. Yes. Number one is Deadpool in its third week of the box office, did $54 million. Number two is It Ends With Us, which is Blake Lively's movie. So shout out to the Reynolds family for just owning cinema right now. 50 million it made opening weekend. Number three is Twisters, fourth weekend in the box office, 15 million it made. Number four, Borderlands, in its opening weekend made 8.6 million in the US. Number
I forgot
5,
how few movies are getting watched right now.
Well, they're not releasing a fuck ton of big stuff in one bulk now.
Right.
Number 5, Despicable Me 4, 6 weeks in. 8 million. Notable other ones. Long Legs is number 10, still 5th week in, made 2 million. Number 7 on this list is Inside Out 2. In its 9th week in the box office, it made 4.8 million. Total grossing in the US alone is 638 million. So shout out to Disney for killing it with that one. If that movie has been in theaters for 9 weeks, it clearly tells you how good it is. The first Inside Out was great. So I can only imagine. I can't wait to see this one. Surprising to me a little bit, number 6 on this list is Trap. Second weekend made 6.7 million. The other two I might as well read off. Harold of the Purple Crayon at number 8, and Cuckoo at number 9. The big movie we have this week is Alien Romulus. Which the trailers look fantastic. I'm super excited. There's probably a chance I'll go see it this weekend.
Early reviews look good.
I'm a big fan of Alien, so, and the fact that Ridley Scott's involved still is like, I think that keeps... You're muted, Mike. Dave. Mike's all fucked up. Dave, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Which might be for the best.
Fuck you.
It looks good fucking Gil. God damn.
One of these days I'll figure out the formula to becoming Homelander. I mean, getting superpowers.
Is that what... Wow. High five to Bree. That one was pretty good. Like,
that was good.
Bree never has anything to say. It just bam.
I just wish they would tell us the story of what happened with the Abomination.
I I agree. I feel like but I feel like that's gonna have to be a separate thing altogether from Alien Romulus, because that really
Oh, no, I
stems in the Alien
agree.
versus
I
Predator thing.
agree.
It's like
Right.
an in-between quill.
A
Right.
mid-cool.
But we need the rest of that story because that's something that, to my knowledge, has never happened before.
Which movie is
Yeah.
that from?
Alien versus Predator.
Trying to remember if that one was well received, because a lot of the later Alien movies were not well received.
It was.
It
The
was.
second one was not, but that one was received well.
Yeah.
The second one.
No,
that
it's
people
my
hated.
favorite part of the whole movie, which is part of the movie that gets criticized a lot, I feel like. But the Predator starts doing a thing with the pad on his wrist, and she says, "What are you doing? What is that thing?" And he looks at her and he goes, I just poked myself in the eye. He goes, and she says, "That thing's a bomb?" And I'm like, just this simple body language. But the thing I thought it was really well done.
Next weekend is going to be a very big weekend, considering two big movies that a lot of people are anticipating will be out. Blink Twice, which is a mystery thriller with Channing Tatum, which looks fucking awesome. If you haven't seen the trailer, highly recommend. And at long last, we will be getting The Crow, which is, for those that don't know, it is a remake of the original movie from the 90s, starring Brandon Lee. Bill Skarsgård is in it. I'm super excited. Also, a movie called Greedy People. It's a comedy crime movie with Lily James and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I don't know anything about that, but I know those two names very well.
I was going to say it's Lily James and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It's probably worth a watch, especially if it's comedy.
It's probably going to be good. Yeah. That comes out next weekend as well. But no, I'm excited for The Crow because we've definitely talked about it on the show before. It's definitely a movie that I love. And considering the infamy behind the film itself, I think it's an interesting time to do a modern version of it. And from what it seems like it's going to be a better told story, because the way that the original Crow is set up, it's very long-winded, and it's not. So the original Omen, I guess, is a good way to describe like the way the story is told.
Slow and boring.
No,
yes.
It's the.
I'm talking about the Omen.
Yeah, no. Well, the Omen was. Yeah, it's a very slow and like meticulous film, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But it looks like this is going to be a very,
like a Mark Twain book reads.
It does, but it's a fantastic movie.
Because I still haven't seen it. I'm trying to watch it before I watch the new one, and Chris says that I won't like it because it's slow, which I do like some movies that are slow. If there's interesting things going on. If the movie is boring, it's just boring. But I have not seen The Crow, so I do not know.
So I saw it once. I was much younger. I thought it was boring. I thought it was slow. And I hate the way it's filmed because it's all real dark, like DCEU dark. So sometimes it's hard to tell what's going on in scenes.
Yeah.
And so there isn't a lot of clarity in any part of that movie, in the story or in the actual visuals. And that's frustrating to me as a viewer. So I think the remake is going to be really good. And I appreciate The Crow for what it was and the story it was trying to tell. I think they just kind of missed the mark in a lot of ways due to technological limitations of the time.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing, because look at how that movie was like. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, this looks so great!" And now you're looking, it's like, wow, even for the '90s standards, that could have been better. But it wasn't made from a massive studio at that point either,
right?
Which does come into play. Apparently, Jai Courtney's got a movie coming out this next weekend too, called Catching Dust. As Gina decides to leave her criminal husband, Clyde, and their isolated Texas hideout, a couple from New York arrive. Ignoring the risks, she convinces Clyde to let them stay, a decision that leads to dangerous consequences for everyone.
Cocaine?
It is a thriller. Probably.
I was going to say Catching Dust, and he's a criminal. It's cocaine, guys.
Probably.
Do you want
And that's the one thing Feige said we couldn't have.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Yes! Yes! But I can't! Yeah, so looks like next weekend we're going to have some interesting movies. Anything coming out by the end of the month after that?
Nothing. 2 weeks from now we have Beetlejuice, but that's the first weekend of September.
And then we get Speak No Evil. We'll get the new Transformers. They're re-releasing Whiplash into theaters. Okay.
Why are they making Transformers movies still?
It's an animated one.
It's an animated one.
Oh, okay. It'll probably be pretty good then.
It has Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime.
The title.
It'll probably be pretty bad then.
Oh, I love Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, I love Chris Hemsworth too. When I hear his voice, I do not think 2-story tall robot.
That's fair.
Then I think it's Brian Tyree Henry is playing Megatron? Yeah.
Megatron. No,
could be either.
Yes. Also voices that are recognizable that are in this movie. Keegan-Michael Key, Scarlett Johansson, John Hamm, Steve Buscemi, and Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay. Unless Steve Buscemi is playing fucking the cassette deck guy, what the fuck is Steve Buscemi doing in this movie?
Why is Steve Buscemi in any movie? Because he can be. He pops up in just random shit to get a paycheck, and he's sometimes the best part.
Oh, he's one of my favorite parts in Con Air, and he has like 2 scenes. But his scenes in Con Air are just something else. Have you seen Con Air? Free. I love Con Air.
So,
they call me Johnny 300 if they knew the truth.
Do you want to know the character he plays?
Who?
Starscream.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
I see it.
Yeah, fair. Starscream also has a weird, annoying voice.
As you were listing off the cast, all I heard was Marvel, 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 more Marvel. I heard
I was going to say, well, no, Lawrence Fishburne, but yeah, no, he's Giant Man.
Yep, I heard Thor, Phastos, Black Widow, Giant Man, and you said somebody else, but I can't remember right now.
Steve Buscemi.
He's not Marvel, I don't think.
No. We'll also be getting the Wild Robot. Megalopolis is another one that's coming out with Adam Driver and Giancarlo Esposito, Aubrey Plaza.
God damn. How many movies is Giancarlo Esposito gonna be in this year? I've seen 2 already.
Yes. Is the answer.
Him and fucking Abigail? No, him and Maxine was an adventure.
Him and Abigail was funny. Dude, Abigail was wild.
I feel like Aubrey Plaza's in a bunch of shit too, though, because isn't she in Agatha too?
She's going to be in Agatha, yeah. Well, Aubrey Plaza has definitely... her star power's only gotten bigger since Parks and Rec.
Well, and the crazy thing is, in an upcoming LTN video, which I'm still editing, we're going to have a clip of Aubrey Plaza saying titties for no reason other than it's funny. So stay tuned for that.
Bree, now it's your turn to shine. Do you have any movie reviews?
Yes, my movie review for this week is for a new horror movie called Cuckoo, which stars Hunter Schafer, who, if you would know that name, you know her from Euphoria, and Dan Stevens, who was also in Abigail.
Yes.
This is a movie about, it's like this girl, and this is the setup of the movie, no spoilers. This girl loses her mom. She has to move in with her dad and her dad's family to some part of Germany. Weird shit starts going on. Dan Stevens does a pretty good German accent. I don't know how well the language is spoken because I do not speak German. I can't speak on how good the language, the pronunciations and everything, but the accent sounds pretty good. Hunter Schafer does a very good job. It's just, when the weird shit starts going on, like there's a central weird shit to this movie, but then they don't give you any kind of explanation as to what the weird shit is, why the weird shit is, or where the weird shit is. Or we know where it is, we don't know where it comes from, we don't know why, it doesn't give you any kind of explanation. And that works sometimes, like in A Quiet Place. The first one doesn't give you, like, it shows you what the creatures are, but it doesn't tell you what they are, where they came from, any of that. It works in that because that movie is more focused on like the family aspect of, living in that world, and it's not like the important part isn't the creatures. This movie, the important part is the weird shit. And it's competently written, it's competently directed, like it's a very well made movie. It's a very well acted movie. The set designs and cinematography and all of that is very good. But I heard people saying that this had some of the best jump scares of the year, that this has some of the best just scares in general of the year, that it's the scariest movie they've seen all year. But they were just saying that about Longlegs a couple weeks ago, that that's the scariest movie of the year. So the scares in this one got me, but I wouldn't say it's like an amazing scare or best scare of the year. It's a jump scare that just kind of got me. Everything else, all the other scares were in the trailer, and people were saying, do not watch the trailer. But I go to the movies almost every week. This trailer is in front of basically every movie that's not a kid's movie. I've seen this trailer a million times. So I've seen all the big scares. So if you haven't seen the trailer, maybe this movie will work better for you, but as someone who has seen it a bunch of times, I knew all the scares. But yeah, it is a very well-made movie. It's just, it wasn't really for me. It also tries to be a very artsy, elevated horror kind of movie, and those aren't typically in my taste either. Yeah. Sometimes I like them. For the most part, I don't.
My favorite artsy horror movie is Bucket of Blood. Because it's a horror movie about art.
Oh my god. That movie is a fucking roller coaster.
So yeah, go if you read like a plot or like not a plot synopsis, but just like if you read, well, I guess the synopsis of the movie. If you read it, if you like the cast, go check it out. It wasn't really for me though, but it's not a terrible movie. It's not Borderlands.
Speaking of,
I haven't seen Borderlands. I'm just guessing.
Dave has a dishonorable mention this week.
I do, and it is Borderlands. So I also haven't seen Borderlands. My critique is mostly on how the people involved in Borderlands have been handling the terrible reception the movie has received. I was really interested in Borderlands until we started getting previews that were all making fun of Roland for being short and featuring and I love Cate Blanchett, and I'm like, you know what? They could probably do some stuff in a little CGI to have her pull off looking a little, Cate Blanchett looks 55. All of these characters are supposed to be in their mid-30s. Oh, yeah, she's gorgeous. But
she's not 20-something.
She's not 20-something, early 30s. In the wake of the Borderlands movie release, the fallout has been nothing short of explosive, particularly on social media platforms like Twitter, What should have been a celebration of one of gaming's most beloved franchises has instead devolved into a chaotic mess of finger-pointing, frustration, and outright disdain. At the center of this storm is Eli Roth, the director who was tasked with bringing Pandora to life on the big screen. And Randy Pitchford, the CEO of Gearbox Software, the studio behind the original Borderlands games.
No.
Roth, known for his work in horror, seemed an odd choice from the outset. His style, while distinct, doesn't really seem to mesh with the quirky, chaotic, and deeply irreverent world of Borderlands. The end product, as many fans and critics have pointed out, feels like a disjointed misfire of a movie that failed to capture the spirit of its source material. The Twitter fallout, on the other hand, has been nothing short of a spectacular dumpster fire. Randy Pitchford, never one to shy away from a public confrontation, has found himself in the crosshairs of both fans and critics alike. Instead of acknowledging legitimate criticisms leveled against the film, Pitchford has doubled down, engaging in a series of heated exchanges that have only served to further alienate the fan base. Going so far as to casually suggest to a critic that maybe he likes the Borderlands games too much and he should calm down. I'm paraphrasing. What? That homie, you're the CEO. Do better.
Yeah.
Critics who were already lukewarm on the film have faced Pitchford's ire directly rather than addressing their critiques with the respect and consideration that might have diffused the situation. Pitchford instead opted for a combative stance. He labeled dissenting opinions as misguided or even malicious, refusing to entertain the idea that perhaps the film simply didn't resonate with their target audience. This aggressive defensiveness has only fueled the backlash, as fans who felt disappointed by the movie's execution have seen Pitchford's behavior as emblematic of the broader issues at play. The narrative that has emerged is one of a CEO out of touch with the community, more concerned with defending his product than engaging in meaningful dialogue with the very people who made the Borderlands franchise a success in the first fucking place. As the dust settles, it's clear that the Borderlands movie will be remembered less for its content and more for the controversy it sparked. The mishandling by Roth, whose vision failed to capture the essence of the games, and Pitchford's fucking insane public relations strategy have left a sour taste in the mouths of many. What could have been a triumphant crossover into film has instead become a cautionary tale about the importance of respecting your source material and your audience. And that's kind of all What's up, Bree?
Bree, yes.
So 2 things. One, it debuted at a 0%. It's up to a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. With a 52% audience score. Woo!
The Super Mario Brothers movie has a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, I believe.
The new one?
Nope, the old one.
Okay. I was
Oh
about to
god,
say
the old one. Fucking, that movie was terrible.
I haven't fact checked it, but I saw someone reference both the 9% they currently have on Rotten Tomatoes and the fact that the Super Mario Brothers movie from the late 80s has a 13%, and I'm like, oh
Madam
no.
Web has a higher score. But the second thing, if anybody has ever seen an Eli Roth movie, which if you don't recognize the name, he is the motherfucker that did the Hostels, the first 2 Hostel movies.
Yeah,
He's
a brilliant director.
Torture porn. Those are torture porn. That is the actual name of the subgenre that he falls under. Who decided that the man who makes torture porn movies should direct Funtime Borderlands video game movie?
Yeah, no, it's well, and when he was slated as the director, I'm like, okay, let him cook, because there is a lot of weirdly graphic stuff in the Borderlands franchise. And I'm like, you know what? Let him cook. And then I start seeing previews and I start seeing stuff come out and I'm like, oh, it's all of our worst fears realized, isn't it? Yeah.
He's also not good at making enjoyable. Like, did he write the movie or did he just direct it? Because he's also not good at creating likable characters. He's great at creating characters that you just want to see die viciously, immediately, brutally.
So
now.
I think he was Roth one of the screenwriters?
Because what happened last year was a great year for video game stuff. We had Last of Us, which was incredible. We had Super Mario, which was great, and we had Five Nights at Freddy's, which all of the fans loved. What happened?
Hang on. Here are the people given writing credits. At the top of the list.
Oh no, not people.
Eli Roth.
Oh no.
Everyone else looks like either people who acted in the movie, so they're given a writing credit because they probably ad-libbed some shit. They do that sometimes. It's stupid, but they do that sometimes.
Eli Roth is similar to Rob Zombie, where he's a great director, but terrible screenwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of those movies that kind of had everybody going, I'm going to be hopeful because it's solid source material. There's a lot of stuff there for them to pull from. It's going to be really hard to fuck this up if they try to stay true to the source material. And they did the one thing that they should not have done. They didn't stay true to the source material. In fact, in most interviews, when people ask Roth about the movie, he cites a bunch of inspirations for it, including things like Blade Runner, and like dozens of other movies. You know what he never talks about as an inspiration for this movie based on a video game? The video game that the movie is based on.
They gave Eli Roth a PG-13 movie. Oh, that's where you fucked up. That's the first mistake. Don't give that man a PG-13 movie.
Borderlands should not have been a PG. Borderlands should have been an R movie from the outset anyway.
Yeah.
Gave Eli Roth a PG-13 movie. Why? Hollywood.
Yeah.
Look, I haven't seen it yet. I will still see it. And when I do, I will come back and tell you exactly how bad it is. I don't expect good things out of this movie anymore. I held out hope. I held out lots of hope because I wanted it to be good. And it could have been great. It could have been. Even with the current casting. If they had animated the fucking thing. And Jack Black, I love you. But, they probably should have stuck with the original voice of Claptrap as Claptrap, since he's the one voice-acted character in the whole fucking film.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. Like, why not just go with the guy that was already doing it?
And doing amazing at it. That's why everyone loves the character.
That would be like if they make a Halo movie. Hey, no, we could just call it to the show. Even with the show, they use the voice actor that did Cortana.
Yeah.
Like, you stick with what works.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. The original voice actor, who probably loves the games, read the script and was
like, no, fuck this.
Nah, I'm good, fam. Thanks.
He probably set that shit on fire or threw it away.
Yeah, no, exactly, Zach.
Literally,
Zach says they turned an M-rated game that defined the age rating for a generation into a PG-13 movie in the worst way possible.
Yeah. DC's choice of the Flash is a whole other thing. That's Warner Brothers tends to really like problematic people in their movies.
See, and the problem, I know we're talking about Borderlands, but I just want to mention the problem with The Flash is not the story, it's not the acting. It's the CGI and the unnecessary cameos just to get people in seats that don't... They're cameos that it's like they don't further the story. They do not help the story at all. They are just there to be like, look who's in this movie, go watch it.
For real. Yeah.
And there's only one movie that I will accept that from, and that is Deadpool and Wolverine, because it makes sense to the story for that to be the case.
Spoiling it because
you know what? That makes sense, Zach.
Because without spoiling it for anybody, because we're not talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, all of the characters in all of the cameos.
Well, yeah, because
help further the story.
For real,
Right.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly, Jake. The OG Claptrap voice actor out of Falling Out with... It's not so... So Pitchford has been controversial for a long time, and a lot of people have lost interest in Gearbox altogether because of him. And I think...
I mean, I see it.
He was quoted before saying that he don't thinks the movie being bad would hurt the brand, and now he's doing all this shit, and it is 100% hurting the brand, and I don't think they're ever going to make another Borderlands game. And if they do, it'll
Probably
be
not.
one, and it won't sell worth a fuck.
And then they'll be like, nope, something else. Yeah, that's sad.
Now I know that the two of the films that are going to be nominated for Razzies for Worst Film of the Year.
One's a superhero property, and one is a video game.
Video game property, yeah. They're also going to be nominated for Normies at the end of the year. Because I still plan on trying to organize the LTN Awards.
Yes, and I like calling them normies.
Right, we give out the weirdos and the normies.
Yeah, the weirdos and the normies. I'm here for that.
And the normies are the bad ones.
So, before we jump into D23 stuff, let's quickly discuss the one thing that Marvel did release on their own. I believe it was earlier this morning. And that is an official theatrical trailer for Kraven the Hunter. Do you need a link, Dave?
I have it. I was going to say, I had it up on one of these tabs. All right, so this was released by Sony.
Was it Sony? Because Marvel posted it on
Wait,
their
Kraven the
YouTube
Hunter
channel
official Red Band trailer from a year ago.
Oh, that's not real.
Can you send me the real one?
Yeah.
Mostly, because I saw...
No, this is from Sony, so it's an official trailer, but it says it was posted a year ago.
I'll send you the most recent one.
I just typed in new Kraven trailer.
I will say the top comment on this one is, I love the part where Rhino got his powers from a drop of rhinoceros blood and learned with great horns comes great horniness.
Here you go, Dave. This is direct from Marvel, their YouTube channel.
Here's to holding out hope for Kraven. Please.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't. It's a
no.
Sony
don't do
movie.
that. I haven't seen this trailer yet. Don't do that.
I'll hold out hope for Venom 3, and that's it.
There you go.
You want to share your screen, Dave?
He is.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, he is, but we won't be able to hear it on this. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
All right. I haven't seen this trailer yet. It apparently just came out 9 hours ago.
Yeah, it dropped earlier today, so...
My son, we are hunters, the greatest the world has ever known.
Oof, he's so fun.
Охотник до сказки.
Каждой сказки есть правда.
Who's next?
I heard the noise of thunder.
Are you like your father? A gangster? A killer?
Russell Crowe.
And I heard
Yes.
a voice.
Yep.
And behold, hell followed with him. There's a man going round taking names,
My son,
and he decides who to free and who to blame.
there's an animal stronger than you can imagine.
The hairs on your arm will stand up.
Tell me about this hunter.
Some are born and some are dying.
Once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around. is unjust.
You think you're some kind of honor? Some kind of code?
He'll be unjust too.
You're just another man
Whoever is righteous,
hunting for a trophy.
let him be righteous too.
Just like our father.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
Embrace who you really are, son. And you will become a legend.
When the man comes around. When the man comes around.
Nope. It's not Magic the Noah time.
It is.
So I'm going to say exactly one thing. That movie would be incredible if it was its own original IP, like it very easily could be, and not use the name Kraven. Because nothing about it feels anything like Kraven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Other than the fur collar.
Aaron Taylor Johnson looked good. That's my only thought.
Correct.
Yes, canonically,
Sexy.
Rhino got his powers from a suit in most continuities. In some, there was some experimentation. But it's a suit that melded with him a lot like Scorpion's suit. Right?
You know, this Rhino looks better than the one that was at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'll give it that.
But the one at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was more comic accurate than this one.
I know.
It didn't
Well,
look
kind
good, but
of.
it was more along the same lines.
When I think Rhino, all I think is that like gray like spandex suit that he wears.
I mean, again, I feel like most of us are going to see it for the shirtless Anthony Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, if you ever want to get a divorce, I'm single, and you're hot.
I will see it because it looks like it might be actually good. It's not going to be comically accurate at fucking all.
No.
But it looks like it's actually going to end up being a solid movie.
The action sequences all look really well done. I like Russell Crowe.
Oh, I love Russell Crowe.
He's a little past his prime, but that's why he's playing the dad of the action star and not the action star.
So I was like, I definitely saw somebody get decapitated.
No, those wolves were chewing on a man's head. That is a thing that happened.
Yeah, there's no possible way it's not rated R. It is very gory.
You know what it never was? Question.
Sony, please stop.
See, because I was going to say the costume looks good, but it's just because he has the fur collar.
Barely. He has a vest that has a fur collar on it. It's not like...
Yeah, because Kraven was a big game hunter, not a man hunter.
Yeah. Nope. Exactly.
His beloved was a scientist. He has a lot in common with Morbius in weird ways in his origin stories, because a lot of origin stories for that era of comic book villains were pretty fucking lazy.
Please let the movie be better than Morbius. Please. It's not that hard. It is not that difficult to make a movie better than Morbius.
They couldn't even make a movie better than fucking... Madam Web is their peak. Like, if it's not a direct Marvel like a direct Marvel Cinematic Universe movie,
or Venom,
just stop.
If it's not animated or Venom.
Do you know why the Spider-Man movies were good? Because Marvel had all of their people from Marvel Studios making that movie. Sony just pretty much gave them the ability to use the product. There's no fucking way Sony had any of their hands in the Spider-Man movies. So, like, I'm amazed that the Amazing Spider-Man movies were as good as they were, and they were good. I don't understand why everyone gives them so much hate. For what they were good movies. Andrew Garfield did a great job.
I like the first one. I'm not as much of a fan of the second one, but that's because it has the same problems that Spider-Man 3 has, where it's too much studio interference.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, is the best way to. But again, this is just Sony trying to make the cash grab because they own the rights to the Spider-Man stuff.
And
so
if they
they're going
don't
to
keep using it, they lose it.
Well, they should lose it anyway.
Because
they should have that shit revoked until they learn how to use it properly.
Because that's why Fox kept making Fantastic Four movies every 10 years, is because if Fox wasn't using the characters, they would lose it. If Sony doesn't keep using Spider-Man, they will lose it.
Now Disney owns 20th Century Fox.
And it's no longer a problem.
They are 20th Century Fox is in the void, hopefully being eaten by a lion.
That's MGM. That has the lion.
Oh, anyway. All right. So on to D23. How do we want to do this? Do we want to start with the one or two non Disney things and then go through Disney and save Marvel for the end?
Well, I was gonna say we could do watch the trailer, pause it, talk about it for a little bit, because there is a couple Marvel. Well, there's one Marvel trailer in this video.
Right, so let's start with the one that I was actually interested, or not the one, but most of these I was really interested in, but one that I kind of forgot was going to be talked about, but was that was James Cameron was there to discuss Avatar 3, which has a name. It is called Fire and Ash. It is scheduled to come out December 19th, 2025. From what he says, it's going to be a very much so darker turn to the story. Which for me, I'm a big fan of the first two films, so I'm excited to see this.
I haven't seen The Way of Water. I liked Space Pocahontas. I thought it was better than Pocahontas. But
well, that's not. That's a very easy comparison.
Yeah,
that's Okay, you say it's an
fucking Wookiee.
It's a pretty 1-for-1 comparison. It's pretty fucking close.
But it's definitely not Pocahontas. Also, the second movie,
no, it's Space Pocahontas. It's different.
A lot of people hated on The Way of Water because it wasn't the exact same thing as the first film. And Dave and I literally said this when it was about to come out, that people's hopes were going to get crushed because they wanted that same thing. And I thought for what The Way of the Water was a great film. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So the fact that we're going to get, I believe there's 5 that'll be released to tell the whole story.
The third one's supposed to come out in 2025. The fourth one, I believe 2028. I know the 5th one is 2031.
Hang on. So we have The Way of Water, Fire and Ash, The Loamy Earth, The Dangerous Void.
It's the blue. You know what? I could see it, I guess.
See, I like Dark World.
Agree. I mean,
it's not
I
good.
Also liked the Dark World.
Dark World isn't okay. Dark World isn't a bad movie.
Yes, it is.
Compared to Thor Ragnarok, it's not as good as Ragnarok.
Okay,
it's also not as fun as the first one.
Brie, you also you're saying that as someone who also isn't a fan of the character Thor. So
Thor Ragnarok is in my top 10 movies.
But would it be fair to say that your opinion is a little skewed because of the fact that he's not a character that you particularly like?
No. Because I love Loki, and he's in the Dark World. I still think Dark World is boring. I love Valkyrie.
Okay, but that didn't answer my question. You're listing off people that aren't Thor, considering the movie itself is a Thor film.
Yes, but it features characters that I do love, and even they don't make the movie worth it.
Valkyrie's not in Thor Dark World.
No,
I
she's not.
was saying Love and Thunder, if Chris had not cut me off.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, I feel like everyone I know that doesn't like the Dark World specifically points out the fact that they don't like Thor to begin with.
The movie's just boring.
Oh, no, I think it is the weakest of that phase of Marvel.
It's the weakest of any phase of Marvel.
I put Iron Man 2 kind of in that same boat. But there are some weird writing choices they made with Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Primarily because the first script they wrote was Demon in the Bottle. But then they were told, no, we can't do that. We're Disney. So they're like, he's being poisoned by the thing in his chest?
So Wookie, I take it you don't like Avatar.
Well, I found possible. I'm not sure if these are confirmed names for the next couple Avatar movies. Actually, no.
It's just they're making Captain Planet. It's fine.
No, they're not. They need to actually make fucking Captain Planet.
No, because it's going to be Earth, Water, Wind, Fire.
Yeah, and then everything's going to change when the Fire Nation attacks.
And then, the first movie was Heart because he fell in love with Space Pocahontas.
As far as I'm aware, there are no names.
He fucked a blue lady with his hair.
Okay, never mind.
Fire
There
Nation,
was,
so it's
back in 2020, there were rumored names for 3, 4, and 5, but now that 3's been announced and it's not the same name that was announced back in 2020, I guess 4 and 5 are also not.
I would assume that they're probably not right. All right, yeah, so that'll be coming out 2025, Christmas time 2025, which I'm excited for.
Ooh, what if the next one's The Passing of Wind?
She's Blue Gamora. That's fair. With an accent. I guess we'll quickly go over the Star Wars stuff so we can let Dave get his Star Wars rant out of the way.
No. Chris, anything that there's a trailer for, we're doing in the order of the trailers that is pre-built into this video. So we're not doing Star Wars yet.
All right. Well, then what is the first thing on that list?
Snow White.
Hey.
It's Snow White, Star Wars, Moana 2, Win or Lose, Toy Story 5, Mufasa, Agatha, and Percy. It's in the order I posted it in the thing. My comments about the trailers.
Oh, yeah, I was not, I didn't actually watch that video. I watched a separate video because I actually watched D23, from start to finish. Which is long, by the way.
Oh, yeah, no, I did not have time for that shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they even did recordings of it. I was just keeping up on Twitter.
Fair.
Yeah. All right, so I guess, then if we have it all...
Oh, Lord.
Let's go for it.
So this is the Snow White trailer. The rats made me a mother.
So, whistle while you work. Whistle while you work. Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of
Ew, the deer does look bad.
It looks so bad. This movie looks fucking terrible. The one
wait.
saving grace is that the actress they picked can fucking sing.
I can't wait.
And she was cheaper because she's already a Disney actress.
All of the animation looks horrible. If you're gonna do that style of animation, make all of the characters animated in that style and then it'll feel cohesive. Instead, it's jarring in ways that Who Framed Roger Rabbit couldn't imagine to fucking try to do. And they had a human cartoon woman fucking a rabbit like they were rabbits.
That movie was wild.
I can't wait to see how they attempt to make Prince Florian memorable.
Who?
Yeah.
The prince in Snow.
No. I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, no. Nothing about this says good movie. At all.
It was
Unless
doomed
we get
from
a
the
better
start.
trailer. Yeah.
Because
again,
I get it if they're trying to go for a more cartoony style for everything, but it doesn't look good. Even just Snow White's costume looks like a costume. It looks like they went to Party City and they bought it.
Uh-huh. I was just gonna ask if they got the costume from Party City. Deadass.
It looks like the cartoon, but the cartoon does not translate well to the live action.
No, because people aren't shaped like fucking cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Like this, I still
Her
haven't seen
hair
the live
looks
action.
awful.
It does. I still haven't seen the live action
Like, it
Cinderella,
looks like a
but
wig.
I've seen the dress. The dress in the live action Cinderella is gorgeous. And it still looks...
Live action Cinderella is pretty good, actually.
It still looks...
It's not awful.
Recognizable as Cinderella. Why?
Well, okay. But the thing is, another thing that, and it's the only live action movie that they've done that, in my opinion, is good is Beauty and the Beast.
Oh,
and that's
so fucking good.
That's passable,
so
and only because Gaston dies at the end.
Because
and Emma Watson was amazing as Belle.
My favorites are The Little Mermaid, Alice in Wonderland, and I gotta choose between Beauty and the Beast and the 101
Alice in Wonderland wasn't made by
Dalmatians.
Disney. It's not part of their whole remake of their classic cartoons thing that they're doing. That's entirely separate.
No, the Alice in Wonderland movies are in fact Disney.
No, but
the
they're
story
not
itself,
part of this.
Right, but they are Disney property.
I will rephrase then. They're not part of Disney's new initiative to make all of their old classics into live action movies.
Right. It was just Tim Burton.
Which is why they're good movies.
Fucking brainchild. And again, it's Tim Burton.
Tim Burton went to Disney and said, okay, but I do Alice in Wonderland. And they said, okay, Tim.
Okay.
Who else do you want to hire other than Johnny Depp?
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
And Helena Bonham Carter. Yeah.
And then
who else do you want to hire other than your best friend and your wife?
Maleficent was good.
I liked Maleficent. I don't know. They just been on this string.
But Maleficent also isn't part of remaking the old classics.
No,
it was
a
new story.
Yeah, it was that new story.
Because then they have
tell the new stories from different perspectives. The Wizard of Oz movies that they did aren't part of this, and they were pretty good.
Like all the ones that went straight to Disney Plus, the only one that I've seen. Well, I've seen the Pinocchio one, which was, and I've seen the Peter Pan and Wendy one, which wasn't terrible, but it still wasn't great. I refused to watch the Dumbo one, even though Tim Burton's my favorite director of all time. Just based on how much they changed the story for the movie. No, thank you. I heard the Lady and the Tramp one was terrible.
The Jungle Book was solid.
I've seen the Jungle Book one.
I heard Jungle Book was okay. I haven't seen any of that one, but I heard it was okay.
Was that
but
Jon
to be
Favreau?
fair,
yes.
I was just gonna say I think Favreau was the executive producer on that one.
But then he also did the
maybe
Lion
the
King.
director.
The Lion King live action was awful. It wasn't even awful. It was shot for shot, but took out all the things that made The Lion King good.
Yeah, they definitely trimmed it down.
Because they took out Dress and Dragon Do the Hula, and they took out Squash Banana da 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 da, and that made me upset.
I mean, the casting for Seth Rogen as Pumbaa, top
was
tier.
Perfect.
Top
Billy,
Billy
Eichner and Seth Rogen were perfect.
I mean, because also didn't Donald Glover did Simba, and that was great. It's Donald Glover. I love him. But it felt like a shot for shot that missed the most important parts of The Lion King. Also,
and that's one of the things I liked about
oh my god,
Beauty and the Beast is it was shot for shot, but with other parts that they couldn't include in the cartoon back then because it was a little, like throwing Gaston off a fucking roof.
Yeah.
And also, they added a new song that was incredible. They added some backstory for Belle's mom, which was great. All the costuming for. I still am not a big fan of Belle's final dress, but it's still very pretty. I love all the costuming for all the characters. I love the CGI for all of the inanimate objects. This looks like crap. The damn dwarfs just hire little people.
Well, and that's the thing is I feel like they're kind of stunted by their own success because we know they can do better. They showed us with Beauty and the Beast, I think, is the prime example because it has a little CGI. It has good costuming choices for the most part. You know what I mean? And then they try to shovel this shit out to us. And I'm like, you can do, I know you can do better.
You definitely do better.
And then we forgot about Aladdin, the Aladdin live action. Wasn't my favorite,
won't talk.
It was
watchable.
Awful.
Will Smith
why
actually did
paint
really
Will Smith
good.
blue? Just let him be Will Smith.
He's not even blue for most of the movie. He is just Will Smith for most of the movie.
Yeah,
okay. I haven't seen it yet, but in all the previews, he's blue, and I'm like, just let him be a dude. He looks so weird blue. Because he does. Yeah. He looks creepy blue. He looks so bad.
Him and Naomi Scott, who played Jasmine, are the two best
Scott
parts.
was great.
I kind of dislike it. So I feel like the original Aladdin did a good job of making the princess like self-assured and confident on its own. And some of the ways they changed that story feel a little disingenuous to me, especially in the time period that story is supposed to be taking place. And I feel like we're cleaning up certain time periods in history, and the problem with doing that is then we forget they happened, and then it happens again. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's my problem with a lot of Disney shit, is they kind of rewrite parts of history how they see fit because they can tell a better story that way, but other people will take it as gospel. Fucking, do you know how many people my age don't know John Rolfe exists? Because of Disney?
Well, because they tried to fix that in Pocahontas 2, and Pocahontas 2 is awful. It is terrible.
Yeah. So, like, and that's a problem I have with Disney as a whole. They do kind of a lot of that. And I feel like there is a better way that they could have. Honestly, you want to know what I think they could have done? They could have modernized the story entirely and made it be a guy who found a genie in like the 80s who was a street rat. That would be a cool movie. Like an Aladdin style story that takes place in the 80s sounds dope.
Yeah. It's not Aladdin because they did a similar thing with Mulan where they tried to make it more historically accurate and took out all the singing, took out Shang, took out Mushu. I didn't watch it. This is just everything I was told.
I heard it wasn't good. Yeah.
Gave her a sister, said, "Oh, there were no dragons back then, so we're taking out Mushu," but then added an entire dragon, like a giant CGI dragon.
Well, and the thing is,
do Eddie Murphy like that.
Right. Well, but the thing is, so Mulan is based in both history and a little in Chinese mythology. So including a lot of Aladdin, same. But
the Chinese people didn't like Mulan. They said, "We want the singing. We want Shang."
Yeah.
Like even the Chinese people were like, "We don't want this."
Get down to business. To
defeat
the Hun.
The Huns.
I love Mulan. That movie is so great.
It's really good. I like musicals. We were talking about this last night. I'm a straight man with gay interests. But the problem is when I say that, people think it means I like to suck dick on the weekends. And it really just means I kind of like musical theater.
$20 is $20.
Jesus.
Anywho.
Any more thoughts about Snow White?
I wish it were better because I love the story, especially if they would go back to the traditional German story. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to go back to the original like origin stories because they're all horrific. They would all be borderline horror movies, right?
Yeah,
let's do that. That sounds awesome.
Well, there is a Cinderella horror movie coming out called Cinderella's Revenge.
That sounds horrible.
And there's 2 Mickey Mouse horror movies. One's called The Mousetrap, and the other one's just called Steamboat because Steamboat Willie went into public domain. So they immediately were like, "Ooh, Mickey Mouse horror movies."
Oh boy!
It's the same people who made the fucking Winnie the Pooh horror movies.
Oh God, wouldn't that be great?
Brilliant.
It's not, because those people are doing Peter Pan, Bambi, and what was the other one?
I have an idea to turn.
Hey, can we get a live action Bambi just so I can put that motherfucker having to watch his mom die on repeat?
My God!
I used to get my mom to read that book to me every single night because I was demented from birth.
I hope the final product of Snow White is better than the preview.
The trailers.
I hope it's better.
No, because again, all of the art is too unified for it to be. It is all too polished in the exact same style for it to not be the final art. It's just going to get minor touch-ups.
It looks so bad and cartoony, and just if this movie came out in the 90s, it'd be acceptable. But it's 2024.
I'm here for.
It's 2024, and there are video games that are indistinguishable from camera footage. Fuck you, do better.
Yeah.
There's a game called Body Cam came out recently that just looks like body cam footage, and it's a video game that's rendered. There is no camera footage in it.
There's a Backrooms game that looks like that too.
Yeah, it's multiplayer too.
Yeah, Jack played it, which is how I found out about it. Yeah, it looks real. It just looks like
yeah. So like we know you can do better. Do better. Pay.
Yeah.
Get an Unreal license. Use Unreal Engine 5. It make it real easy for you.
I'll let y'all know how Snow White is in March, because before any of y'all waste your money to go see.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Wait,
I probably wouldn't have ever gone to see it in theaters.
I'll probably wait to see it on Disney Plus, if I'm being honest.
But
there's a good chance.
I will say, I guarantee you I already prefer Snow White and the Huntsman over this shit.
The Snow White and the Huntsman
was good.
Yeah,
real good.
That's
Both
what I'm
of them were
saying.
good.
We already have a live action Snow White that is good, and this ain't it, fam.
There's also Mirror Mirror, which isn't Disney, but it's a Snow White live action, and it's also pretty good.
Well, and then there's the what's the other live action fairy tale? Have you seen Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters?
Yes,
with Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, Gemma Arterton. Yeah, that was a great fucking movie.
Oh man. So like there are lots of and that kind of tries to be more traditional with how its approach to the original story is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we get more of these fairy tale movies? Because these are fucking sick.
And there's all the Robin
Jack
Hood
the Giant
live
Slayer's
action.
another one that was really good.
Shout out to the live action Robin Hoods, though. Some of them were actually good.
No. The only good one was Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Because and other people will be like, no, the Kevin Costner movie was great. No, you just want to blow Kevin Costner. Fuck you.
That's
Kevin Costner was good in exactly one movie, and it was Waterworld.
Okay, so no bullshit. I don't really hate Waterworld.
It's good. It's an interesting story that we'd never seen before.
It's a shit film, but I hate it. I don't hate it at all. I don't hate it. I enjoyed it.
I've heard he's good in Yellowstone, which is not Western, but it's like a
Western
Western TV show.
Oh yeah, and people say Field of Dreams is good, and they're all fucking liars who want to fucking
you grew up in
blow off
fucking
the Baseball
Iowa,
Hall of Fame. What?
It's because you grew up in Iowa, and I can imagine that was probably the most irritating fucking movie when you were growing up.
Oh, it was so goddamn annoying.
I love Field of Dreams. I do like Kevin Costner.
I'm having a stroke now because of it. Thank you.
Is it heaven?
Fucking...
No, it's Iowa.
If you build it, they will come. What, the vibrator? Fucking Jesus.
Anywho,
all right, next on our list,
Star Wars.
Star Wars project I don't hate, because those do come along every once in a while. I have some commentary that makes me sad. What?
I will have no thoughts. This is for y'all.
No, this is really for me.
It's for Chris.
Let's fucking go.
Also, Viking, if you're still here, you better actually pay attention to this. Because it's Star Wars.
Also, Viking, if you're still here, there's a Warhammer 40k Speed Freaks racing game that's free that we all need to play together later.
Don't you ever want to do anything exciting? Like what? What if
okay,
we
thank
go
you, Zach.
Anywhere we want in the whole galaxy. A real adventure. No more pretend. I found something buried in the woods. What do you think it is?
I think it's a lost Jedi temple. Hello?
Be careful where you step. We're lost. Really lost.
It's dangerous out there in space. Trust no one.
You're a Jedi.
Where'd Chris go?
Chris, did your internet die? His internet died. Perfect.
Because first I noticed his camera went out. Then I.
Who is this? Because this person looks familiar, but I can't place them.
It kind of looks like Kevin Durand, but maybe not. Hold on, what's this called? Star Wars.
Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Jude Law. Yes, thank you. Yes, that is 100% who it is. Okay, so A, I might actually watch this one. B, it makes me sad because this feels like they're like, hey, weren't there books about some really interesting kids that were canon in Star Wars, and they happen to be the twin children of Han and Leia, Jason and Janna Solo, who were also Force sensitive and learning to become Jedi, being trained on Yavin 4 at the New Jedi Academy by Luke Skywalker. Oh, wait, we already fucked all that up. Okay, so how do we make a story about kids?
I recognize names under creator and producers. That's because John Watts does the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and then Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
And then under the cast list has Jaleel White, aka Steve motherfucking Urkel.
Right. It happens, Chris. But no, this looks like it's gonna be good. and super enjoyable. And I will probably watch along with Chris, and we'll probably give you a week by week.
And you see, CGI looked good.
The CGI is incredible. The practical effects they used to float the keys were real bad. But I'm a magician, and I hold everyone to that standard. And yeah, no, I 100% don't think he's a Jedi. He's probably a Gray. But I would be interested to know what time frame this takes place in. Is the one question it's kind of leaving me with. Is the when of it all.
I do. Hello, Chris. Welcome back.
I'm back. Sorry, my Wi-Fi routers decided they were just gonna fucking update. So here's my thing with Skeleton Crew. I like that it's again an original story that's going to help further the lore in the universe of what's already been built cinematically. I love the fact that Jude Law is like deeply involved with this project and he said he's hoping to do more in the future with Disney and the Star Wars stuff. It looks really cute. It looks like a fun story that I feel like everyone's gonna come out of at the end of the series or season or however they do. Everyone's just gonna love it.
Oh yeah,
they've been very controversial with opinions, or people have been very like opinionated and in the newer Disney stuff with Star Wars, and it's fair. I understand, but I feel like having Jon Favreau now involved in a lot of Star Wars stuff, and I think he's also involved in this project.
He is.
I think that's going to help people think or feel a little better about it, considering we all know The Mandalorian was amazing. Obviously, anything he's done with Marvel has been great. So I'm hyped for it. I'm real hyped for it. Also, I need an invite back to the.
It says you're still joined. Just open guest star.
It wouldn't let me join.
Must say it says that you're here, just no camera.
Oh yeah, that was weird. I tried it 3 times.
There's the Chris.
That was very odd.
No, it looks really good. I will probably watch it because this is the first one that feels like they're trying to tell new stories and not either potentially fucking up long-held lore or completely rewriting canon.
Well, the problem is they have no choice in some of that stuff. Because of the ability. Well, think of what Disney owns. The fact that they're clearly not going to go out and buy anything else, you kind of have no choice to do some stuff like that. Also, the Acolyte was a very new like story that was pre the universe we have. It was all like High Republic stuff. So I mean, that was also, I still have not finished it, but what I've seen was fantastic.
I heard good things about it.
I heard good things about it up until like the last episode, and then apparently something happened in the last episode people didn't like. But that's also kind of par for the course. For a lot of stuff. And the thing is, so here's my problem. They pay a cadre of writers to write a new script for a new movie because they refuse to pay one writer for the rights to a story that's already complete and just needs adapted, which will require them to hire less writers and end up costing about the same. And that's where my problem is, because they don't want to pay people who already wrote canon stories that have been established as canon for the rights to their stories. They'll just pay other people to write stories instead. And that feels really fucked up.
Yeah.
Especially for all of us who grew up only having those other stories to know what happened after Revenge of the Return of the Jedi.
So I'm gonna be real. I had no idea that there were like that many books
There are
passed growing
hundreds.
up. I had no idea. This is all knowledge I had probably gained within the last 10 years. Obviously I knew about the comics, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to things I like because if it's something I like, I tend to not.
Exactly, Jake. Exactly. The Yuuzhan Vong. Where the fuck are they? Okay.
I mean, I wonder if we'll see him. I don't know.
We
I'm
won't.
excited
We
for
can't. They've already killed any possibility of the Yuuzhan Vong coming in. Because it requires a bunch of other things that can no longer happen to happen. Because, Luke and Leia are both dead.
Yes.
Oh, and Han is dead, and the twins don't exist because they never had twins. They just had Anakin, which they did. Their youngest child was named Anakin. Yeah. But he was like 10 when the kids became adults. The Jason and Janet, the twins. So they've already fucked up any possibility of doing that correctly. And if they try to go back and write some other way to do it, it's just going to piss people off more.
Right.
For those of you who don't know who the Yuuzhan Vong are, they are a biomechanical species. So they're organic machine people with organic machine spaceships and weapons and yada, yada, yada. Their armor is grown around them. Because they have a symbiotic relationship with the armor they wear. Oh, also, they're undetectable via the Force, can't be sensed and can't be affected by the Force. If you pick up a rock and throw it at them with the Force, cool, but you can't Force choke one of them. They're Force voids. They don't exist, according to the Force, which shouldn't be possible, and it opens up a whole fucking crazy amount of shit. And they ruined all of that. That being said, I do think this is going to be enjoyable. It just makes me think about what could have been instead and makes me sad.
Right, but instead of focusing on what could have been, why don't I look at it as this is an opportunity for something fresh. And I feel like
so the reason I can't do that is I'm a creative person, and if a property decides that my work that I've done is good enough to be considered canon to that, that's a huge, huge thing. And for that to just be stripped away over corporate greed feels shitty as a creative person. It's not about them wanting to tell new stories. It's about them throwing entire groups of people out on the curb. The proverbial curb in this case. Saying, no, the work you put in doesn't matter. Nobody cares. And there are people that care. Jake apparently cares, which I'm here for. But it's one of those things where there's so much disrespect to the community that existed beforehand. It's the same idea as Borderlands. They're disrespecting the source material and doing their own fucking thing instead. And that's the same problem here, but it's not as obvious because the source material they're disrespecting was only known by people who were huge fans of the franchise, even in its off times when they weren't making movies.
Right.
So we're all getting left in the dust and told that we don't matter. And that feels bad.
Oh, and Bree's about to kill the cat.
Probably not as bad as being stabbed by a cat, but it feels bad.
He gets you in the leg again.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, kittens are rough. Kittens are rough. Anywho, what's next?
Next on the list, your favorite and mine, Moana 2.
So I want to preface this by...
Hold on.
Yeah. I want to preface this by saying I have never seen Moana.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I love the first one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
My big point of confusion is the first one ends in a really like, you know, when a story ends and just like all of the little threads are tied and all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, everything's nice and clean and feels good. That's how Moana ended. So when I found out they were making a sequel, I'm like, but how? Because you didn't leave any loose threads. You did a really good job at the end of that. Plus, the guy with the curly hair from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, Jermaine something. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, he voices the lobster.
Does he?
And he has like a singing bit and a whole thing, and it's great.
Shout out to the Flight of the Conchords.
The Distant Future. The year 2000.
So
this song came out in like 2006, I think, by the way. The Distant Future, the year 2000. The humans are dead. The humans are dead. We used poisonous gases. And we poisoned their asses. Actually, their lungs. Binary solo. 0000001 0000001 0000111 000011111 00110.
Just so you know, we're not paying you any extra for this.
What?
You don't get paid extra for musical number, Dave.
That's fine. It's I love Flight of the Conchords, though.
Are great. They are very entertaining.
Another really fun one like that. They call me the hippopotamus. My beats are fat and the birds are on my back and I'm horny. I'm horny if you refuse to proceed. You will indeed conceive. Cause I hit you with my flow, the wild rouse stampede. I'm not just wild, I'm trained, domesticated. I was raised by a rapper and rhino that dated and subsequently procreated. That's how it goes. Here's the hippopotamus. The hip-hop, here we go. And then your line, Chris, is, they call me the hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless. And then that's it. And that's the best part. Is like, he freezes. Oh, it's so good. Watching them do it on stage is great. I've never been in person, but like, they did that on, I want to say, a late night talk show in New Zealand. Do you still need a minute, Bree?
No, I just had to go get a Band-Aid, and now my stomach is cramping, but I'm okay.
If you need a minute to, like,
no,
stand up, sit down, lay down, walk it off, whatever, what will help, we can do that.
Yeah, no, my knee's not the problem. It's just owning a uterus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, here, how about we take a 2-minute intermission, gain our bearings, come back, and we watch the Moana 2 trailer.
I get to go pee-pee.
Yeah, everyone
pee-pee
take a potty break. Go get some snacks.
Who told you that, perchance, Steve? Steve. Jake, you need to hang out with us.
So Jake is also like you, Dave, and very much so into British culture.
Oh.
Heavily into British culture.
Entirely on accident, mind you.
Oh, yeah, no. He is... You two would be best friends.
Yay! I've always wanted a gay best friend.
Dave, you are the gay best friend that somebody just...
I know!
Gay best friend for sure. Oh my god, and I have to sit through Are You Being Served? So if you can watch that with Dave, Jake, that'd be cool as hell.
I've never seen but a couple of episodes of Are You Being Served? But the few episodes I've seen is no. It takes place in like a multi-level department store. It's great. It's great.
It's
but I've only
not
seen
my
a couple
cup
of
of tea.
episodes.
Like, it's funny, but I'm not that I'm not into British culture, because I do enjoy British culture. The British comedies don't do it for me.
Oh, see, and Monty Python is my shit.
I do love the shit out of Monty Python.
Oh. You ever had a dream about fucking John Cleese in the ass? I have. Very dry and a lot of wordplay. What? To fuck John Cleese in the ass or British humor? You know what?
Yes.
Both.
Yes. Oh.
That joke is not John Cleese approved. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. While we're gone, enjoy whatever scene I put us on. Hey, fuckers and freaks, we're back.
I hope everyone got a snack. Everyone's all cozy, ready to buckle in for this.
Maybe a little more faded than you were 5 minutes ago.
There's a possibility. There's always
ready for a trailer that Chris is not going to... I'm sure he'll be able to follow along with the trailer, but he's not going to understand who these people are.
Yeah, because, I mean, I've never seen
I will, and Bree will, and...
But it has The Rock, and I'm fine with that. I love The Rock.
We'll talk about it after the trailer. Because I have opinions. Most of them are good.
I have opinions. I have one concern, but it's not that big of a concern.
I have one question, but it's more of a point of confusion than a concern.
Which we can talk about after the trailer.
We'll talk about after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this art style, too.
You wanted to come this time.
Poor little pig.
You were gone forever.
It was 3 days.
Where are we going?
Before Maui stole Tifiti's heart, our ancestors wanted to connect our island to all the people of the entire ocean. It's my job as a wayfinder to finish what they started.
Wanna show our people just how far we'll go.
This is a call from the ancestors.
Hidden in a terrible storm, it's an ancient island. Setting foot on its sands would break the curse, bring our people together again.
I know what I have to do. Maui, I could really use your help.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
You will be destroyed, and your wayfinder too.
Now I kind of miss the lava monster.
Ow!
I love how stupid Maui is.
I'll be back. I promise.
Do I hear...
I love how stupid Hey Hey is.
Uh-huh.
Cockham.
The coconut man.
You guys, we got this. Bring it on, Coco.
Let's get the last one. Gotta make
Okay. So, I'm going to start with my question. Looks great. My only question is, the first one ended tied up so fucking neatly and so beautifully. It blew me away that they were making a second one, because they don't need to. It's just a really good movie. I know why they're doing it, and it's because all hail the almighty dollar. But
they're also making a live action.
Oh no.
Yeah. For a long time, they went back and forth on if they were making a live action or a sequel, and then they just ended up deciding, let's do both.
Okay, well, I'm less excited about that, but it looks like a fun romp like the first one. I love the little coconut men. Anytime you have like tiny little like creature things that are also hyper aggressive for no fucking reason but look adorable, that's always the best thing ever to me.
So
it's like the grunts from Halo. The grunts from Halo are lovable because they're so fucking small and stupid. Chris, we can't hear you.
Oh. Jake's getting a first-hand lesson on the grunts from Halo recently. So what
they're
I'm hearing
just
is
small and stupid and silly
great.
little guys that fire at you with usually really shitty energy weapons because they don't get the good ones because they're grunts and everybody knows.
Everybody knows how they became part of the Covenant.
Okay, I realize the grunts are 6 feet tall on average, but I'm saying from your perspective playing the game, they're tiny little silly men.
Hooray! Grunt birthday party.
Yes. Hooray. Grunt birthday party. Yep.
My only concern for Moana 2, and it's not a big concern, it's kind of just, so Lin-Manuel Miranda did the music for the first one. And it's incredible. I love all of the songs from the first movie. Lin-Manuel Miranda is not returning to do the music for the second one. So there's one of two ways it can go. Either it's going to be someone who tries to sound and do like copy the style of Lin-Manuel Miranda and you can't copy the style of his and it sound as good as his. Or it's going to be someone who comes in and does their own style, and now the soundtracks sound not connected. Which, like I said, it's not a real concern. It's just kind of like, I hope the music is still good, even without.
So the thing is, I'm sure the music will still be good, and if they get like a caliber composer, we'll say, right? Like an actually good composer, which for this kind of project, I hope they have. It could be someone who will do it in their own style, but also paying homage to the style and sounds of the first one and connect them well.
So the music for Moana 2 is being written by a team of Grammy nominees and winners, including Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear, who became famous for their Bridgerton ballads on TikTok. And then I'm not going to try to pronounce the next two because I do not want to butcher them. But one is somebody who did work on the first film, and then another is a 3-time Grammy winner who also composed parts of the score for the first one. So they do have some people coming back from the first one.
Okay, so it'll probably be fine.
And I have a solution or an answer for why he did not return for this one, but we will get to that when we get to a specific trailer.
I was just going to say that, too. I was like, he is still doing a Disney property, but it is one that we will be discussing.
And my theory is that these two movies are coming out pretty much not that far away from each other. He probably agreed to one before they approached him for this one.
And he's like, homie, do you know how long it takes to write good music? It takes a fucking minute most of the time, all right?
Like, the story, it sounds like it's still going to be really good. That her sister is adorable. Somebody said she looked bad. She looked like she is a bad kid.
What a monster. How you gonna say that? She looks cute as hell.
But she's
I will say it's interesting how looking at Moana, you can tell she has grown from like a teenager to a young woman because they've made like subtle changes in her face to show that she's aged. And I think they did that really well.
Well, because in the first one, she's 16, and this one, she's supposed to be, I think, 19. So it's been like a 3-year time difference.
Right.
So yeah, they were able to not make a tremendous change to where it's like more than 3 years have passed, but still subtle changes to be like time has passed.
I was going to say, it's noticeable that she is older, but it's a question mark of how old because it hasn't changed much. Right. Yeah. No, I think they did a really good job of it. I think it's gonna be I'm probably going to enjoy it. I really liked the first one. I'm sure you guys have more than once heard me go, "What can I say except you're welcome?"
You're welcome.
Which is from the first one. It's fun. It's all really well done. I love that his tattoos argue with him. And I love that. Okay, so in a lot of mythos, right, and in a lot of like ancient religions and stuff like that. Fuck you.
Stop that.
When you get to especially the lesser deities, they all tend to be really good at one thing and just kind of shit at a lot of other things.
That's Maui.
And that's Maui. But to his credit, because it's the way they used to humanize like their pantheons so that they felt relatable. But the great thing about that is it makes those characters also relatable. Why do you think Percy Jackson did so well? Why do you think the old school Hercules? Yeah, we're going to be talking about Percy Jackson later too. We're going to be why do you think Hercules, the original Hercules, is so well? Because all of those characters are humanized just by their native traits from their mythos.
Right.
So it's really cool. I like it. It's fun.
Hercules, another movie that's getting a live action remake that if you don't cast it right, that's going to be a train wreck.
Well, from what I heard, the casting was the same gentleman that they used at the end of Love and Thunder. I don't know how much truth there is to that rumor, but that would be fucking crazy.
Because the last thing I heard was that it was rumored, or they were looking at KJ Apa, who's Archie on Riverdale, and I'm like, no, young Hercules, maybe, not old Hercules.
You know who I would cast as Hercules? Unironically,
Hercules.
Channing Tatum.
Okay.
He's goofy enough to play the character. He's really good in comedic roles.
Yes.
But he also has the build. John Cena isn't as funny as the other guy I just mentioned, whose name already eludes.
Channing Tatum?
No,
Channing Tatum,
Cena's
that
fucking
one.
hilarious. John Cena's hilarious.
So is Channing Tatum, and Channing Tatum is, by all accounts, a better actor. I don't know who Kellen Lutz is.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. Most famously, he was in fucking Twilight.
He was not Jasper. He was Emmett in Twilight.
He was Emmett, but he's been in a bunch.
You
of
might
other
as well
things.
say he was the Moon Man from Zeeblebrock 8 and Twilight. None of those names mean anything to me other than Jake and Edward and Bella. Because Burger King had that whole, are you team Jacob or are you team Edward bullshit? And I'm like, I'm team steak and garlic. And silver.
Important. The Legend of Hercules from 2014. And he was in Tarzan from 2013. And The Expendables 3.
I'm team Blade. Yo. I'm real excited for another Blade movie, though.
I know.
And again, Blade is one of those characters, like, they're worried about people not receiving it well, but as long as you stick to the source material, he's kind of hard to fuck up because he's pretty one-dimensional. He's like the Punisher. As long as you get the right casting and have the right director, it'll be fine.
He was Kellen Lutz was in that stupid-ass fucking Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I forgot about that. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie.
Yeah, movie was real bad.
Speaking of fuck that movie, the next trailer is for a TV show.
Pixar's first TV show.
Not Pixar's first.
It says in the trailer, Pixar's first.
Yeah, it says their first.
Their first original TV show. They've done TV shows because there was a Cars TV show that was done by Pixar.
There was, and it was terrible.
I thought that was just shorts. I didn't really.
No, it was whole ass episodes.
It didn't last.
Because then, wait, no, that's just Disney. Zootopia. Wait, no, that's also just Disney. Never mind.
But I think it says it's their first original TV show.
I want to point out that Bree's first thing that she thought when she saw this was me.
It's sports.
And her and I had a conversation about how I like more than just sports.
Yes, but you like
Never mind.
sports.
No, Dave,
So-
you want to say it. Say it with your chest.
He also likes a decent razor.
That's not what you were going to say.
It really is. But I couldn't figure out a way to make it sound funny, which is why I stopped.
See, Zach had the balls to say it. Thank you for being a good friend.
Oh, yeah, no, he also likes dick. But, like, I don't think of people in terms of who they like and don't like to fuck as a general rule, because unless you're trying to fuck me, it's not my business and I don't care.
And just play the trailer. Jesus Christ.
Shuttle up. You all did great today, but there is one person who did the same level as all of you, just fantastic, but better. Anyway.
The first ever original series, okay.
I see a whole lot of people who underestimated us. And you know what? Sometimes you have to earn your respect. Tonight is our moment for redemption.
Can we talk about how this is just the animated PG version of Bad News Bears?
See, to me, it has, like, Gravity Falls vibes.
I don't know what kind of vibes it has. It just has baseball and then a bunch of weird shit.
Bree is
The
just
weird
like,
shit is the Gravity Falls vibes.
Bree is just like, oh my god, sports, I've nothing now. It's just...
Hey, I like some sports movies. I like The Game Plan. I like Coach Carter. And that's about where it ends.
I've never heard of
Okay.
either of those movies,
Out
but
of-
I'm
out of the
probably more
two of
disconnected
those, the
from sports
only
properties than you are, other than I loved Angels in the Outfield and
Classic.
Rookie of the Year when I was a kid.
Classic.
The Game
Also,
Plan has The Rock, and Coach Carter has Samuel L. Jackson.
The only two of
Ah.
those that are acceptable sports movies is fucking Coach Carter.
I love Coach Carter.
Coach Carter's a spectacular basketball movie.
It
Wait,
also has
no, what
Channing
was that
Tatum
chess
in it.
movie? That's a sports movie. Chess is a sport.
The Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit, yeah.
Have you watched that?
No, I've heard it's really
actually,
good, though.
it's really good.
I've heard it's really
100%
good.
Well,
Anya
it's Anya
Taylor-Joy.
Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she fucking killed it. It was such a good show. Chess is about as much of a sport as fucking golf. Let's just be real.
And I feel like both of those are less of a sport than Magic the Gathering.
I also agree.
Because as a guy who used to play competitive Magic the Gathering, I'm kind of glad I don't anymore.
And I have both
It's
absolutely at one
stressful.
point played golf and fucking chess. Neither time have I ever.
But
been
I
like, I'm
was
playing a sport
wrong
right now.
for assuming to think you first when I saw sports.
You were because you were.
You just
Putting
admitted
me
to
in
playing
categories.
golf.
I learned how
I've
to play
played
golf
golf,
to try
too.
to bond with my stepfather.
I played golf because
What else are
I
you
knew
going to do
people
in the
who liked to
Midwest?
golf, and it involved alcohol at like
Yeah,
10
I
o'clock in
know
the morning.
99% of the people I know that play golf literally only do it to drink on the golf course. I was like, yeah, because I mean, I guess.
I
what
also
else-
found out I have a 400-yard drive so long as you don't want me to be able to tell you which direction the ball's going in.
that tracks. Dave goes, I'm gonna hit
If
this
you want me
hard."
to be able to point in a general direction the ball's going to go, I have about a 100-yard drive. But if I'm just
I mean-
whacking that fucking thing, man, I'll send that bitch.
Yeah, I think
Long-
mine's-
Long arms
I
help
think
with
I
that,
can
though.
hit a 260, like the last time I did it, 260. This bitch hitting it to the moon.
Right?
Bree's so tall that ball is gone. Where did it go?
Right.
I don't know.
No, but it's weird. Golf is one of the few sports where being tall has a distinct mechanical advantage is just because of the longer pivot length. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this looks fun. I'm excited to see when
Yeah.
this comes out. It looks like a fun little teamwork.
It
show.
looks fun. It looks weird. It looks. Yeah, it looks great. I'm excited for it.
The next one, they just need to stop.
I was going to say, you know what I'm not excited for?
Oh, is this 5?
We're rolling it. Hearing that tune used to bring me joy.
It still brings me joy. It just, yeah.
Does the animation not look weird to anybody else?
It looks really fucking
weird.
disjointed.
So, the only things that have been told about Toy Story 5 is the plot will involve the toys fighting technology, including an army of 50 Buzz Lightyears controlled by computers. It is scheduled to hit theaters June 19th, 2026. No. As a millennial, Disney, look at me. Look at me as a millennial, a young millennial. Stop.
Look at me.
We don't need any more Toy Stories. Now. I love Toy Story with every fiber of my being, but stop.
Look at me as an elder millennial.
Stop.
Why? The juice ain't worth the squeeze, bruh.
Yeah,
I was ruining nostalgia boners everywhere.
Look at me
perfectly.
Look at me as an elder Gen Z. Y'all could have stopped at 3. I love 1. I love 2. 3 made me emotional. 4 could have kept it.
4 was good. I liked 4.
Y'all ended 4 by separating Woody from the rest of the group, but now Woody's back with the rest of the group, so what was the point?
Yeah. So many questions.
And is Tom Hanks and Tim Allen returning for this?
As far as I'm aware.
Because they were
Unless they're not, and they didn't want to do that with the characters saying hi with new voice actors.
Could you fucking imagine?
Because it's like Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, when 4 came out, kept doing interviews about how they were emotional and that they cried through some of their reading the script, and like they had to take multiple takes of some of the end dialogue between the characters because they were crying. So now y'all are kind of ruining that memory of them like being emotional about this is the last time they're doing it, and now y'all are just like, why? Stop, please.
And you know what? If you want to make a new Toy Story movie, get an entirely new cast of toys that are more modern and applicable to today's audience. Like, I would be fine with that.
So the only 2 confirmed are Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear and Blake Clark will be returning as Slinky. That is all that is confirmed on cast.
Can we stop?
Oh, this needs to be it. They need to be done. They need to be done.
Because we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be Toy Story 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Just please stop. The animation's getting worse, and y'all are running out of story.
Yeah.
So everyone else is probably going to disagree with me, but this is another one I feel like a huge why about, and I have no interest in. Toy Story X, Jason in space. Oh my god. Oh, they can't end yet. They haven't been to space.
They can't end it yet until they go to space.
See, I agree, Dave. This is a why. I'm curious about. Not excited.
None of this makes any fucking sense.
There is very deep Disney lore, and with the Lion King, and in the original lore, Scar's the one who is adopted, not Mufasa.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this?
I know.
Well, not only that, But why are we also now attempting to humanize Scar?
Because I've seen so many comments. Well, we can talk about it after the trailer.
Yeah, let's watch the trailer first.
For those of you not in the loop yet, this is Mufasa, the Lion King.
It's time. I'll tell you a story. A story of a cub, not much bigger than you.
So just to be clear, we're not in this story?
There's a lot of stories with all of us. Tell one of those. Long before they became legends, Mufasa and the prince
Seth Rogen really does do a good job as Pumbaa, though.
It's perfect.
Became brothers.
Hello, what's your name?
Mufasa.
I told you to wait for me. We can't just leave him here.
Rules are rules, Taka. The king will never accept a stray.
I'm not a stray. I'm just lost.
We do not associate with outsiders. Taka is the future king. We must protect the bloodline.
But, Dad, I saved his life. I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother. I always wanted a brother.
Sometimes I get a scent. It's barely a trace on the wind. And it smells like home. And then it's gone.
You and Taka together, that is home. Now both of you go. Find your place in the circle of life.
The circle is broken. There will be one Lion King.
Mufasa, run!
We must fight together. If we fight, we die.
Just to be clear, I never signed up for this.
I'm here to protect you, my brother.
Mufasa! This was a bad idea! We're alive! I did it! I saved us!
You were saying?
Am I the only one that thinks the guy, whoever's doing the voice of Mufasa just sounds like Chris Pine? It's not.
Agatha.
Lynn, why did you agree to this? The music's gonna be great.
So, I'm gonna see it. I'm not gonna not watch it. I loved Lion King, but I also am on the same boat of what's the point? I don't understand why we needed this movie.
They changed his coloring to be a more realistic shade of brown for a lion, Jake, in the live action. Which the live action made a lot of money. That's why they're doing this, but it was not well received by anybody.
Very true. Very true.
No.
And now I've seen...
Look, I tolerate the first movie because Timon and Pumbaa are hilarious. I loved the Timon and Pumbaa cartoon.
Oh, that shit was so good. Timon.
And then I watched nothing else Lion King.
Lion King
I haven't seen Lion King 2. I haven't seen Lion King 1.5 or whatever the fuck it's called. I haven't seen the live action one. The retelling of the story of Hamlet is of no interest to me. Also, with it being based on Hamlet, you could at least have the backstory in this story be something akin to the actual backstories of the characters in Hamlet. But no. So you can't even correctly rip off Bill Shakespeare.
And instead of just doing the Lion King 2, which they have sprinkles of that in here because Kiara, who is the daughter of Simba and Nala, the Lion King 2 is basically Greece with lions.
Uh-huh.
And it's incredible. and I really like the second one. Noob likes it better than the first one. And so instead of just doing that, they're instead going back, sprinkling the elements of the second one with Kiara, and then going back and telling a story that nobody has asked. I've seen lots of comments of people being like, okay, so we've been crying over a lion dying for the last 30 years, and now y'all are making a prequel, making it seem like Scar did nothing wrong.
Unless they don't show the turning of Scar in the trailer. Because something has to happen.
Yeah. But the theory that that most of us are coming up with is that Scar turns on Mufasa because Scar was supposed to be king. Mufasa swoops in and steals it from him.
Or they're banking on making another. Yeah.
There's that too. Yeah, when is this released?
December.
Thank you.
And then it has, a lot of people are also upset because Blue Ivy, Beyonce's child, is playing Kiara, which I guess makes sense in a way, but a lot of people are like, this is a bad example of nepotism. And I'm like, hey, give the girl a chance.
That's not a bad example of nepotism.
This is not Northwest singing I Can't Wait to Be King. Which was a thing that happened, and it was bad.
It was bad.
Kanye knew better. Actually, probably he didn't. He might not have.
Yeah, let's.
I don't think Kanye knows better than. Have you? Never mind. We'll talk about that later.
Kanye's.
Have you seen his new lady?
The one that looks just like Kim.
Except she only knows how to wear like curtains that you can see through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just.
Yeah.
I'll see it. I'll go in with an open mind. It can't be. Can't be that bad. It can't.
The next.
Oh no! It's gonna be fuck awful.
It's gonna be pretty bad, probably. The next one is something we have discussed and something we will be discussing very heavily in the near future. For the obvious reasons.
Because, after all, it was Agatha all along.
We get it, you can sing very deep.
The Covenless Witch.
Dave's just like, are you jealous? A little bit.
What really happened to you?
Seekest thou the road to all that's foul and fair?
She took every little bit of power I had.
Gather sisters far.
That bitch ain't dead.
Coven. We gotta get back on top. I'm gonna walk the road. Join me.
Darkest hour, wake thy power, earthly and divine.
The Witch's Road will give you the thing you want most.
Not Kitty.
If you make
I
it to
was
the
just gonna say it too.
The road is a death wish.
This is my favorite scene in the whole trailer.
Heard you guys were having a party.
Can we be real? And that's just how Aubrey Plaza shows up to everything.
That's the most metal way to enter a fucking room, though.
Pow!
Crawl out of the dirt. And
what?
Heard there was a party. And I'm like, uh-huh. It's a pants party. Do you want to come?
What's up? Hey.
Oh, the whole reason I paused it. What the fuck do you think her deal is, though? Like, for real, because she was very obviously buried there.
I don't know. I just know Aubrey Plaza is playing Aubrey Plaza.
Fair.
Shall we?
It will test us and our knowledge of the craft.
We don't even know what we're up against.
Our worst nightmares.
How do we pass this trial without any power?
We survive.
like witches have been doing for centuries.
What happens next?
Aubrey Plaza really is just playing Aubrey Plaza.
The bodies are really piling up.
Why do you let them believe those things about you?
Because the truth is too awful.
I want my prize!
Time to finish the road. Last one there is a nice person.
Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end.
Okay, so question.
I'm really excited.
I think Aubrey Plaza is the villain.
Yeah.
I can see it.
And what if she's playing Lilith?
She's Mephisto.
Lilith is worse than Mephisto.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like Lilith
I was bringing up
But,
the fact that back when WandaVision was coming out, every episode people were like, it's Mephisto.
I don't think we were ever gonna get Mephisto.
Well, so the crazy thing is, Lilith is also connected to Dormammu.
Yes.
And we know there's another property coming out where we see some of Dormammu stuff that we're going to be talking about here in a few minutes, because we're almost out of trailers.
And then there's a bunch of other stuff that was listed that doesn't have trailers.
Right. So, and we are going to be talking about some of that, because there's another Marvel property that could be is very connected to this for some weird fucking reason.
I feel like if you're going to expand the story with Lilith and make that character a larger part of the future plans, Aubrey Plaza is your best fucking option. Because she's great. Playing that type of character is so right, like up her alley. I could 100% see that.
I have to make sure I'm remembering Marvel's Lilith character.
Still no confirmation that is Billy, but at this point, that's Billy.
It's Billy. It's
Billy.
What I
Y'all
heard,
don't
it's
gotta
Billy.
say the name. It's Billy.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are like, what if it's not? And I'm like, it is. You see him wearing a very comic accurate costume in the first trailer. It's
also
Billy.
confirmed Hulkling will be in this, so it has to be Billy.
I am here for the spooky vibes. I am here for the hocus pocus vibes. I am here for the spooky, scary horror vibes. I'm just here for it.
Catherine Hahn is a fucking gem.
Oh yeah,
she is a gem. So
okay,
the fact that we're getting
I was thinking
Agatha,
of the correct Lilith. So for those of you who don't know, Lilith was a member of the heavenly host and wife to Samael, also sometimes called Lucifer, who went with him in his challenge against God and was cast out of heaven with him. In her own story, she claims to be the first woman and the first wife of Adam.
Mm-hmm.
She is ancient and incredibly powerful.
And could still get it. It's a mash.
I feel like the casting for everyone seems to be very well done. I feel like they thought this out to a point where I feel like they realized that this is one of those stories that they can't fuck up in a way that would upset a lot of people. Kind of like how we were talking about with Deadpool and Wolverine, you can't fuck that story up because you're going to upset a lot of people. Where there's a whole section of people that are Marvel fans specifically for the magic aspect, and you got to do this one right. Because Agatha Harkness is an important character in a lot of things, so you have to tell this story the right way.
You don't get No More Mutants without Agatha Harkness.
Right. Right.
Well, Wanda
I'm really
is
excited for
dead.
this.
So how are we gonna get no more mutants if Wanda is dead?
Wanda
Because
ain't
Wanda
dead.
isn't dead.
Wanda's not dead. Fuck
No,
y'all.
no. And you want to know? You'll want to know who would want to know where Wanda is more than anyone right now?
Agatha.
Billy?
No. Also no.
Lilith.
Lilith.
Yep.
Because when there's a Scarlet Witch around, Lilith is only second best bad bitch on the block.
And who is the baddest bitch of them all right now? Wanda Maximoff.
Wanda fucking Maximoff. Yeah. All right, we got one more trailer.
And it's one
this is another one I'm mega excited for. It's for another Disney Plus. Cut to Wanda being at the end. Oh, yeah. I fully expect it.
Oh, Wanda, yeah. There's no fucking way that she's not.
And if Wanda is dead...
She's not.
No. But if she is, them going down the road and Agatha wanting her power back from Wanda could very conceivably also just resurrect her, because that's how the road works. But in order for her to take her power back from Wanda, Wanda would have to be there and alive. So this is also, if they did intend for her to be dead at the end of that, an easy resurrect.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm excited. We don't get a whole lot of new footage with this one, which makes me sad.
Voice. We get that post-puberty voice.
Well, I would say we get that Walker Scobell puberty voice.
Boy.
That's a man. A big, strong man.
My name is Percy Jackson.
I'm glad he grew into the rest of his head.
Monsters come at me. So did the gods.
You think you know me?
Last year, I had to stop a war.
Can you imagine getting a letter? Sorry, you're fired. Puberty did you dirty and you don't look right no more.
That would be fucking crazy. They recast Percy? Yeah, apparently puberty did him in. He lost his boyish charm.
That was just the beginning.
Like, that is a... Puberty hit him fast.
Yeah. The Sea of Monsters.
I'm really excited for this. The writing for this has been really good. Now, I didn't read the books. And people who read the books have differing opinions. I did see Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, and Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, the movies. Both of which I liked.
People who read the books, other than me, don't like them. I love those movies if you separate them and just say them as movies.
I read the books and I liked the movies for what they were.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing is, especially when you're going based on mythology like that, everybody's going to take some liberties and tell it a little different. How do you think Saturn and Zeus became different fucking people? They're the same god. Represented in two different cultures. So
I've read the first 3 books. I haven't read the rest of that series, the spin-off, the spin-off of the spin-off, the spin-off of the spin-off of the spin-off. Like, I've only read the first 3, and out of those 3, Sea of Monsters is my favorite. I read it so much that it fell apart and I no longer own it. So as long as they did the first season really well, as long as they do good with the second season, applause.
yeah, no, I'm mega excited. Because they did do really well on the first season.
But goddamn, Walker, calm down.
I know, puberty just went, hey, what's up? High five. Boom, you're a man
went
now.
from
Like,
12 to 17 in 2 years.
He went from 12 to 25.
Because he was in the Adam Project when he was like 12, and now he's like 17, and I don't know how. It shows how long it takes for a movie to, or a TV show to film and do post-production.
So,
fair
things that were not given any like anything other than like some concept art or being announced at D23. We will start with Frozen 3 and Frozen the Musical. Frozen 3 is scheduled for November 2027. There's also a musical that will be premiering that premiered on Broadway. But it'll be on Disney Plus services next year. Very similar to how they did with Hamilton. There is a spin-off show coming for Inside Out. It takes place between 1 and 2. It is set to be like a movie studio that will that sets up Riley's dreams. That is
that sounds really fun.
Oh yeah. It sounds like it's slated to be on Disney Plus in 2025. Zootopia 2.
Why did you cover your mouth like that, Brie?
Because she's seen Inside Out 2 and has things she wants to say about it, and none of us have seen Inside Out 2.
Ding, ding, ding.
Zootopia 2 was announced. We will be getting the return of Jason Bateman and Jennifer Goodwin as their characters. That is slated for November 26th, 2025. The clip that they played to talk about it was pretty fun. They had Nick Wilde doing the little commentary, and then he said something about Disney and their sequels, or something, Disney and how much they love their sequels. Apparently, this one is going to be including reptiles, some snake named Gary. Hashtag the world needs more Garys.
Oh, it could have been a snail named Gary.
Meow. No, that's Nickelodeon. They can't fuck around with the splatter.
They're Disney.
They're Disney.
I don't know. Star-Lord fucked around with the splatter. He at one point mentioned if you had a blacklight, his ship would look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh, it would.
What we're trying to say is he fucked.
Yeah, he does. He fucks. The Incredibles 3 was announced. There have been nothing else released about it, but it has been announced, and Brad Bird, who directed the first 2, will be coming back to do the third one.
Thank
I hope
God.
this is the last one. I hope
Hallelujah.
This is this one. I'm fine with 3.
Look,
I don't want any more after 3.
That was
The
my
Incredibles 3 came out the same year I graduated high school.
Incredibles 3 hasn't come out yet.
The Incredibles came out the same year as I graduated high school in 2004.
I saw
and I loved it.
Oh, it's such a great movie.
And then Incredibles 2 came out in 2018, and I loved it.
So,
and Stretchy Mama Girl got an ass.
No.
I have a little Helen Parr figurine around here somewhere.
It's Dave's Bernadette Peters.
I don't know who that is.
It's a Deadpool joke.
Oh, okay.
From the first, for the first Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's your Bernadette.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Another
but
one
yeah,
that
no, and considering it seems to be most of the same writing and direction and stuff like that, I'd imagine it will just continue doing good. And there is more story to tell there. Like, let's find out some more about Jack Jack, please. Please?
So I'm hoping this one is very centric on Jack Jack, and he's older now. Because I hope Jack Jack still's not a baby. It's been 10 years. It's been 20 years.
Make him young enough to still need the babysitter, because the babysitter is iconic. She learned from her mistakes the first time.
Yeah, fucking Kari. Another project I'm super excited for, Jon Favreau will be again returning to the Star Wars universe with an upcoming film called The Mandalorian and Grogu. This obviously continues the story of the Mandalorian show. That is slated for May 22nd, 2026. I'm in. I'm in. Some Marvel properties. Daredevil Born Again. We got the official, pretty much the official casting. We'll get to see Charlie Cox return, as we've discussed. As well as I think a couple characters that we were talking about that we were excited about and interested to see how deep this goes.
Now I will say, based on both the title and some stuff I've seen online about the trailer, it's a soft reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Which means they probably don't intend for the original Daredevil to be canon.
It might change once the show comes out, because
right
now it is canon.
From what I've heard, it is still going to be as dark and bloody and graphic as the Netflix show. They're not
apparently it's gonna be
Disneyifying it.
heavier. Yeah, apparently from what I heard it's gonna be heavier. And I was like,
I'm just
shit.
wanting better writing, because I was so bored. I watched the first 6 episodes of Daredevil.
It gets
Netflix.
better as it goes on, but I know some people don't want to have to sit and watch an entire season to try to get to the good part.
That's bullshit. 2 episodes, maybe 3 of exposition before you can start getting into, being the show you want to be. Totally get. You have to explain what's going on to people. But fucking, I'm 6 episodes in and I'm still waiting for literally anything interesting to happen. Fuck you. You don't deserve my time. I'm too busy for that shit.
I got 9 minutes in, saw Charlie Cox shirtless, bloody, and sweaty, and said, I'm in.
It
9 minutes
to please, Bray.
and 12 seconds or something like that. And I was like, yep, I'm in.
See, I'm just not that horny.
I am. I'm just horny enough.
She's very self-aware.
Can somebody clip her saying, I'm just horny enough for it, and that exclusively?
Yes.
Thank you.
Another Marvel property that is officially announced, Ironheart will be coming soon. That's going to be big. Apparently, Ryan Coogler will be involved as a producer. For those that don't know the name, he was the director for both Black Panther and Wakanda Forever.
And Creed and Creed 2. And I've seen every one of his movies, and they're all very, 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 very good. He does not have a single fail yet.
Shout out to Anthony Ramos, who will be playing Parker Robbins, a.k.a. The Hood.
Okay. Quick aside, for those of you who are unfamiliar with The Hood, Parker Robinson, gets his superpowers when so in the comics, him and some of his, boys break into a warehouse because they heard there was going to be, a shipment or something going on, and they were going to fucking steal it, right? He's a crook.
Yeah.
Instead of that happening, they bust in on some weird seance, and then basically a demon in a cloak and shit, a costume, he just shoots him dead. And not wanting to leave empty-handed, he takes the cloak and the shoes, and then somebody tries to steal his shoes, so he puts on these other shoes, and he finds out he can walk on air and shit, and he's like, holy fuck. Finds out the cloak gives him all kinds of powers and shit, too. It's fucking crazy. But the craziest part is, the cloak is directly linked to fucking Dormammu. And for those of you who don't remember Dormammu, and how could you forget, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. I hate the way he says bargain. His American accent is really good, but the word bargain is so
Bargain
rough.
just doesn't.
I've heard a lot of people disagree
Not
and say his
cloak.
American accent is terrible, but I don't think it's that bad.
It's
no,
really not.
But there are
It's
a
not
few
that bad.
words that you can be like, oh, he's not really American.
Make him say penguin. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Because he did a nature documentary, and he just kind of lost sense of what the word was as you continue watching it. Because at one point, it just turns into pinwin.
I have heard a supercut of just every time he says the word penguin in that film.
It goes from penguin to penguin to pinwin to...
It's fucking insanity. It really is.
It's as bad as Tom Holland saying croissant.
Croissant?
Quaxon.
Oh, Quaxon. Yes. But yeah, no. So it's directly connected to Doctor Strange and Dormammu, all of that being directly connected to Wanda and Agatha, because you know, when you talk about the people at the top of technology, that's a huge fucking list. When you talk about the people at the top of magical aptitude and power level, that's a very, very small bucket of people. With, Wanda and Strange being at the top of that list, and Dormammu being one of the things that keeps trying to get in from the outside. I've come to bargain.
I'm just excited for more Riri because I fucking loved her in Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah,
and
no,
the
that was
actress
so
is
great.
incredible.
She was so. I'm going to say something potentially controversial. She was my favorite part of that whole film.
That's fair.
But as a person whose favorite superhero for a long time has been Iron Man since before the movie came out, I feel like that also checks out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I would also, talking about bad accents, if you ever need to do a British accent and say the word daughter, no British person would ever say daughter. It's daughter. They don't pronounce the T.
Are you Irish all of a sudden?
Daughter.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Daughter.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
So, you guys ready for a Disney movie that's not a sequel? There's a new film that is going to be from Pixar called Elio. It follows an 11-year-old Elio Solace. He accidentally becomes an intergalactic ambassador of planet Earth when when aliens beam him up to their world. This will be featuring Zoe Saldana, which is cool that she's getting involved.
Yeah.
$1 billion movie immediately. Top of the box office every time.
Oh yeah. Hoppers is a new upcoming Pixar film coming in 2026 about a young girl, Mabel, who swaps brains with a robot beaver and goes undercover in the animal kingdom to unite the other animals to fight off a real estate development plan. John Hamm plays the villain, Mayor Jerry. So this is Disney's version of Over the Hedge, just with way more plot lines.
Well, so my only problem with this film is its title, because hoppers sounds like slang for drugs.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got those hoppers? Because I want to do the hip hop, a hip hop, a hip hop, and it don't stop.
I don't know what just happened there. Anyway.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some hoppers. We're just very close to poppers.
We have now been given the gift of Andor Season 2. This will take place, I believe they said it's going to be taking place a little closer to the events of Rogue One, which is a fucking phenomenal film. This should be up to Disney Plus in 2025. We will be getting a Monster Jam movie with The Rock.
He's already on the screen, bitch.
He's on the screen again, motherfucker. Can you smell what he's cooking?
No, I've heard he's a terrible chef.
I don't know a ton about this movie other than it's going to be involving the real life Monster Jam. Also a movie that I'm excited for. That's not even on this list, but was 100% talked about. Is Tron Ares.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
I don't think it's a secret. Tron Legacy is one of my favorite Disney films of all time. It might be my favorite. The soundtrack is I think the best ever for a movie. We're going to be talking in a little bit about someone who's involved with Tron Legacy. Jared Leto is going to be, I believe, the main character from The Grid. I think Jeff Bridges is involved in some aspect as well. Not a lot has been released on it, but it has officially been confirmed after years of questions. We're finally getting to know that there's going to be a third film. So that is one of my favorites. Overall takeaways for D23. Dave, I guess we could start with you on that.
Well,
or Bree, it seems like she wants to go. So,
well, because there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about just really, really fast.
Yeah.
The Disney Legends ceremony.
Oh, that's right.
I already have the article pulled up.
Okay.
I'll do this fast. So 14 new Disney legends were introduced. I'll just list the most, well known. So we have Angela Bassett, James Cameron,
Fox. Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Steve Ditko, Harrison Ford, John Williams, and Miley motherfucking Cyrus, the youngest person to ever become a Disney legend. I cried. I got emotional. I was excited. Queens. Yes.
Hannah Montana forever.
Yes. There's a couple other names on here that I'm not familiar with, but I did name the ones I feel like everyone kind of knows.
Oh, yeah.
What a weird week for Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, we also forgot to announce the fact that Freakier Friday is coming out. We're getting a sequel to Freaky Friday.
Which is apparently going to have Lindsay Lohan in it.
Well, I would imagine
she keeps her clothes on.
I would hope so.
Murray's fine ass is coming back.
Is Chad Michael Murray coming back? Okay.
Yes. That man is sexy.
I think we've established that Bree might be the horniest out of all of us.
Why? Because I made an assessment, not an assessment, an observation.
No, because we've heard you speak this episode.
Yeah, so there's been like behind the scenes, not footage, but like paparazzi pictures that you can definitely tell were staged of Chad Michael Murray at one set, and
he's still looking good, even though he's 42. I feel like they waited way too long for this fucking movie.
Well, Lindsay Lohan, kind of.
Lindsay Lohan kind of popped off and did a lot of drugs.
And then did a bunch of drugs and then got naked with Danny Trejo.
But she's back on track. She's doing up better mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So is the movie going to be that good? Who knows? We'll see. We have nothing other than a title and 3 names.
Yeah.
But I accept it.
I know, and what a week for Jamie Lee Curtis, absolutely, because she went from the highest to highest in D23 to the fucking...
Oh yeah, she's
getting kicked in the. Yeah, she plays Tannis.
I forgot about Borderlands.
And she's been getting kicked in the fucking taint over that, I'm sure.
But you know what? She's a Disney legend now. She's a horror legend. She's Oscar.
Oh yeah, no, Jamie Lee Curtis is phenomenal, and as far as I'm concerned, one of the few characters that was cast way too old is fine because Tannis is a fucking crazy scientist woman. So she can just be older and it be fine. She has 0 action. She refuses to fight. She hides from shit. Like, so that was a casting that I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm here for it.
And it's Jamie Lee Curtis. Overall thoughts on D23.
Disney, stop making sequels to shit that don't need sequels.
I agree.
A lot of things have me excited. A lot of things have me... Not a lot. A couple things have me curious. A lot of things have me asking a question mark.
Yeah.
Just one big ass question mark.
overall, I will say I'm excited for all the Disney or all the Marvel stuff and all the Star Wars stuff. There's a bunch of Disney stuff in itself that I'm excited for, but I agree. There are some that I'm like, but like, fucking why?
I mean, DreamWorks is doing the same thing. Shrek 5 and Minions again. Well, not Minions isn't DreamWorks; they're Illumination. But yeah,
Which they can make a million fucking Minions movies, and I'm down.
Yeah, no, keep making Minions movies. Fuck Gru and the kids. They don't matter
Ask-
anymore.
at this point,
Just show me
no more Gru and the kids.
Yeah,
just
how
show me
excited
the
I
little
was
yellow
during the fucking
bastards
opening
in the coveralls.
ceremonies. The fact that we got Minions in the opening ceremonies of the Olympics.
I just want to see them little yellow bastards in the dungarees, bruv.
You want to pick an accent and stick with it?
No.
I don't know what that was.
But yeah, we've run out of steam for Gru and the kids. I loved them in the first one. Still loved them in the second one. By the third one, I was still okay. Fourth one,
I love Steve
move
Carell.
on.
I
Move
do
on.
love Steve Carell, but they need to tell a better story and or like maybe age everyone up a little bit.
I love Miranda Cosgrove. Please move on.
I do love Miranda Cosgrove.
Because she's...
Never mind, I know.
Because she plays Margot, and she is not, well, I mean, she's a girl, so her voice isn't really going to change anymore, because I was going to be like, she's not going to sound 10 forever.
No.
But it's Miranda Cosgrove. She might sound 10 forever.
I was going to say the same person's been doing Bart Simpson's voice forever, but it's also a woman.
That's why they cast women to play
female
little
voice
boys.
actors tend to
exactly
be cast to play boys. The voice actor for the American voice actor for Ash is also a woman.
Correct.
Yep, Tara Strong. If you need a little boy, just call Tara Strong. She's Timmy Turner. She's Ben 10. She's one of the Rugrats, I think, or maybe
Chucky?
She's Tommy.
Tommy.
That's E.G. Daily.
Because I was like, E.G. Daly's in there. I think Tara Strong's in there, but I might just be thinking of E.G. Daly. Because I know Tara Strong is a Powerpuff Girl, but I think E.G. Daly is also a Powerpuff Girl.
She was up.
Oh, that makes me sad. Jessie, I think, is the closest I have ever come to thinking a cartoon character was hot, by the way. Because she was a tall, busty, dangerous redhead. And all of those things appeal to me. What?
Yeah. But Jessica Rabbit.
Smash.
No, because Jessica Rabbit was over-sexualized?
She was just drawn that way.
Smash.
That's one of her lines. Is she's like, I'm not bad.
I'm just drawn that way. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Dave's judging me, and you can judge me all you want. I'm still.
I mean, Smash as well, just like Lola Bunny. Smash.
Fucking Smash.
Nope.
I'm not picky, so.
Shigo from Kim Possible. Smash. Sam from Danny Phantom. Smash. Yes. Raven. Smash.
Raven.
Gwen.
Smash.
Gwen from Total Drama Island. Smash. I think there's a.
No. See, you say Raven, and I know Raven live action stuff too, and like cosplay, and I'm See, I'm on board there.
I agree on Raven.
There's a common theme. There's a common theme between Shigo, Raven, Sam, and Gwen from Total Drama Island.
Yeah, they're all goth chicks.
Yep.
Wonder why we all are obsessed with goth girls.
Oh, so also Abby from NCIS.
Yes.
Oh, she was my favorite. She's still my favorite. Smash. Tony was my second favorite, but Abby?
Correct, Dave. Zach is going crazy over here.
Jessica Alba in Dark Angel.
Jessica Alba.
Well, but we were talking about goth girls, and she wore a lot of black leather in that.
But like, why do we have to distinguish? Because she's just Jessica fucking Alba.
Because I don't like her as a blonde.
They made her look weird in Fantastic Four, but she's still Smash.
Yeah, it felt too blonde. Like, I've seen her with like a darker blonde color, and it looks fine, I guess. But
so
yeah,
she looked
fucking weird as Sue Storm.
Rhea Bloody Ripley. Smash.
But I think Dave said that she's too muscly for him, for his taste.
I don't know. I respect the muscles. I respect the shit out of it.
Rhea, Liv, Alexa, Becky, Jade.
Most of the WWE women's roster.
Yeah.
I have yeah. Mommy is the best.
Music.
Music, yes. Songs of the week. Breed, would you like to go first?
What was my song of the week? Oh yeah, it's a song called It's a song called Hot to Go by Chapel Rowan. I'm going to make her a music corner eventually, so I don't want to get too into her. Just know that she blew up recently, within like the last, I feel, 6 months out of nowhere. And this is her most popular song. It even has a very fun song and has a very cute little dance that goes with it. And yeah.
We love that. Dave.
Pardon me. Well, it's Pardon Me by Incubus. I love Incubus. Pardon Me is kind of, if I want someone to know who Incubus is as a band, it is the song I direct them to, because it's like not just one of their best songs in my opinion, and they had quite a few bangers.
They really did.
But it's the song that kind of feels a little bit like just how they are across all their songs.
Yeah.
While still having that like very emotional like connection. Like you can tell they wrote the song because they were feeling a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they felt like they needed to write a song.
Right.
And it's like, it's almost like, so the album it's on came out in 99, and it's almost kind of a snapshot of like alt rock in the late 90s and early 2000s, just like captured perfectly in crystal, never to be tainted. I don't know why I keep accidentally becoming a vampire.
You need to watch Renfield, fam.
What the fuck is Renfield?
Murray is judging you.
Murray is judging it. Renfield is that movie we talked about last week where Nicolas Cage plays a vampire.
Oh,
no, not just a vampire. Dracula.
The vampire.
But it's good. If you like modern pop, check out Incubus, because there are a lot of similarities between modern pop and alt rock from the late 90s and early 2000s.
Very true. Very true.
Other than the guitar is a little heavier in the alt rock, but a lot of how songs are written, what they're written about. I feel like a lot of modern vocal performances are very closely linked with that.
Yeah, very true.
Kind of scene. So, yeah.
My song is Villains by Deadlands. They are an up-and-coming metal band from Long Island. It's their newest single. It's fucking gas. The song is amazing. If you guys are metal fans, highly, highly, highly recommend this song and this band. Casey Carlson who's the lead singer of the band, has her own presence on YouTube and stuff and social media where she does a bunch of covers of stuff. But Deadlands, their music is excellent. Go check them out. Bree, your music corner.
So my music corner this week, because it is officially spooky season. I say spooky season starts July 5th, but I'm basing it off of the fact that my job just started selling pumpkin spice donuts, and my mom has decorated the house for fall. It's officially spooky season. Celebrating. So my music.
There are other holidays in fall.
Who cares?
None of them that matter.
My music corner this week.
I'm sorry, I forgot neither of you grew up with a functional family that celebrated Thanksgiving.
Halloween's first.
Halloween is first. Halloween comes several weeks before Thanksgiving.
I'm aware.
So my music corner this week is going to be John Carpenter, who most of you probably know as a director, but he composed basically the music for almost every single one of his movies, or at least all of his movies up to a certain point. Because he did the one of the most iconic horror movie scores, the Halloween score. He did the main theme for Assault on Precinct 13, The Fog, Escape from New York, Christine, Vampires, Prince of Darkness, In the Mouth of Madness. And even though he did not direct Halloween 3, he did do the main score of that. He is a very talented individual in more than just directing, but just when you create one of the most iconic horror movie scores outside of like Friday the 13th, you get a music corner.
Yeah, no, that's fair. John Carpenter, wicked talented, by the way. And he
God,
did a lot of horror stuff, but if you want to see something a little more adventure themed by him, it's Escape from New York, real good. Kurt Russell, lots of fun.
There's
and he did Escape from LA.
That's it.
Escape from LA,
he did the
yeah.
sequel. Shout out to Kurt Russell. Those movies are fucking great.
And then he also helped do the score for the new David Gordon Green trilogy. He didn't do he didn't do it solo. Like, he had his son, and then somebody else who I believe is from some band called the Dickies or something.
Dickies.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they all came together to work on the score and like the music for the newest trilogy of Halloween movies. So and they still sound good. That man is incredibly talented. He is just, it's John fucking Carpenter.
We're not worthy, John Carpenter. We're not worthy.
Yeah, no, crazy. I actually have thought about doing John Carpenter as an honorable mention. So just because he is a multifaceted talent.
Oh yeah.
You know, and even as someone who doesn't necessarily like horror movies, I respect him for what he has done to kind of try to elevate and like change perspectives, even though he was there kind of at the beginning of the modern horror genre, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you think of like what modern horror is, it started with Psycho, but then we got like Black Christmas kind of started modern horror post-Psycho, but nobody gives it any credit because many people haven't seen it. And then we get to Halloween, which then we get Friday the 13th, which Friday the 13th, many people that worked on it said, yeah, we just directly ripped off Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very similar movies, but both so iconic in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
And the music for both of them helps that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just glad I have someone to binge watch horror movies with now. Everyone else I used to do it with is busy. So I'm like, Bree, we're going to watch scary movies. And she's like, okay.
You want to know what the scariest movie I've ever seen was?
A Bug's Life.
I feel like you've said it before, but I can't remember.
It's something that's probably not scary.
It's not a horror movie. I can guarantee.
It's probably more like a thriller type.
Actually, it's an action movie.
What is it, Die Hard?
Armageddon.
Well, I mean...
Because as a science nerd who was really into astronomy when that movie came out, I knew that the thing that they were making a movie about was a thing that was really possible, and that was the first time I experienced existential dread.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that can happen.
You know me pretty well by this point. What's the scariest horror movie to me?
Oh. What's my favorite horror movie, Bree?
It's the same answer.
Exactly.
Well,
Debbie Does Dallas.
If you don't include clowns,
Oh.
The scariest horror movie to me is The Strangers, but if you include clowns, it's It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, Terrifier, Terrifier 2, All Hallows Eve. Just basically anything with a clown.
Anything with clowns. Yeah.
It's scary, and I don't want it.
So I won't go grab my Pennywise pop figure.
I mean, you can. I'll just do this.
No, I'm not going to. I respect you as a friend enough. Oh, Tim Curry. No, Bill Skarsgård will always be the scarier of the two.
I think Tim Curry is scarier.
I can't take Tim Curry seriously as that because he's a fucking goofball and everything else.
I mean, that's fair. I didn't realize it was Tim Curry the first time I saw it.
That's fair.
He looks more like a traditional clown. That's why he's scarier to me. And Bill Skarsgård is so hot. Why did they put him under all that scary makeup?
You know who's not scary? By the way, speaking of scary things, if you know, you know. But our musician of the week this week, speaking of D23 and Disney, this is someone
Rob
that
Zombie.
I feel like 100%.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Speaking of D23 and Disney, our musician of the week is Rob Zombie. What a fucking segue. Sorry, continue.
He's done a PG movie.
We kind of forget that exists because it was bad. I still love you, Rob Zombie. You were one of the nicest people I've ever met. But we went with Daft Punk. This is someone I feel like we've done way back at the beginning of the show, like our first ever year doing Less Than Normal. But they fit in directly with the Disney theme. And speaking of Tron Ares, they are single-handedly responsible for the music from the film Tron Legacy, which I know at least Zach and I both agree that it is the best soundtrack from a movie ever. They, over their 20-year career, worked with everyone. They were
all night to do sun. We're up all night to do sun. We're up all night to do fun. We're up all
they
night
worked
to
with most notably two of the songs that people know from the radio would be there's that song Get Lucky with Pharrell, as well as Starboy, which features The Weeknd, who is also both of them are former musicians of the week for us.
Look what you done.
For obvious reasons. But I don't think we need to say any more than what hasn't already been said by them. They are the godfathers of and say the godfathers of EDM, but they are single-handedly responsible for how quickly dubstep caught on, and they pioneered EDM to become as mainstream as it is. I was gonna say they are not in any way dubstep. They are very house, very
look, they are
very disco, but the goats.
They
goats.
like let's put it this way. They threw Kanye a bone. Said Zach in the
they did throw Kanye a bone. They did.
But I would also like to point out they were in a Borderlands game.
Yeah.
Or likenesses of them were. Bringing it back full circle to things that make me sad.
You know who else we could have done if we were speaking on EDM artists that were in fucking Disney things? Skrillex is in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep.
I love Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, it's so great.
Actually, I feel like there wasn't Marshmallow in one of the Disney shows too.
There's a chance.
Probably.
Chris Comstock's popped up fucking everywhere.
Seems like a really fucking cool dude, though.
Oh yeah, he's the man. Another artist that has talked about inspiration from Daft Punk. Obviously, the saddest thing for the EDM world was in 2021 when they announced that they were going to be
going their separate ways.
They were going to be disbanding. And it's sad because for the EDM community, and I know Zach can back me up on because Zach and I are pretty heavy into the EDM world. It's like they are I feel like they're the one group that even if you didn't start with EDM, like if you didn't start with them in EDM, the second you hear Daft Punk, you're addicted because their music is it's so genre bending that you can kind of put their style into into anything. I'm honestly sad they broke up because could you imagine Daft Punk at the fucking opening ceremonies for the Paris Olympics or the closing ceremonies? Having Daft Punk involved at all with it being in Paris, I thought would have been amazing. They did do a live stream on Twitch in 2024, early this year. It was just a full live set of all of their music. They did a repress of a bunch of their stuff that was re-released, as well as they did have a tour of like a live tour set of theirs remastered at Tribeca Tribeca Festival, which is cool. I don't know. There's not much to say about Daft Punk other than they're fucking amazing. Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree. If you guys have not heard the fucking Tron Legacy soundtrack, go listen to it. You're missing out. I know, Bree, you're hanging in. You're a trooper. Let's say I think that's all we got. No, you're definitely not fine.
I do think
you don't
that's
gotta
all we got.
Yes.
Fen, Zach, and Chris, if you're interested, I would like to have a meeting of Team Pissback about Speed Freaks.
Like I said, I have plans after. But
Oh,
once
I know.
those are done, there is a chance. Maybe, I don't know. I still have a few things I really need to do. Thank you guys so much for being here. Check us out on our socials. If you are not already and you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Lets you know anytime we're live, or not live, but anytime we upload anything. Go to Twitch if you're liking us and you're not following. Hit that follow button. It's free. Also on Spotify. If you guys are listening on Spotify, thank you. Leave us a review. Also, check out our merch store. We have a bunch of fun stuff up there. Keep an eye out for anything coming up on the YouTube channel this weekend. We should have something new.
You said
Bree,
come.
Oh my god. Bree, do you want to say the tagline tonight, or do you want to make Dave do it?
I can do it. I said I was fine.
Well, none of us are believing you, is the thing.
Let's hear it, Bree.
Until we see you all again, keep it simple, stay weird,